Chapter 46:56. Lin Xian turned to the elder and sneered, "It's your turn now. Damn it, you killed him." The seventh elder roared. That was one of his grandsons, and Qin Haodong killed him right in front of him. And now, Qin Haodong wanted to kill him. He roared to the sky and forced the Blackwater mystical snake to retreat. "You have a demonic beast that can fight against me, but it's impossible for you to kill me. I'll go back now and use the power of my family to tear you to pieces." Qin Haodong was too terrifying. Qin Haodong didn't die even after facing such a terrifying attack. He had to tell his family to send more experts to kill Qin Haodong. Lin Xian sneered. "Do you think I'll let you go? Also, who told you that I only have one demonic beast?" Golden light bloomed in his eyes and formed a pair of golden eyes above his head. Then, a figure flew out. The ice fire swan released the terrifying power of ice and fire and attacked. The seventh elder's face turned ugly. He was also a late-stage Saint King. If the two demonic beasts wanted to kill him, he would definitely die. It looked like he was going to risk his life. With a roar, he took out a pagoda and immortalized the peach. It looked like he didn't want to give up on the treasure in the process of escaping. The peach was enveloped by the pagoda and rose into the air. Lin Xian sneered. "You don't know what's good for you. You're about to die, but you still want to fight for the treasure. How stupid." Suddenly, he was stunned and shocked. What's going on? Even the seventh elder was stunned. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. The change in front of him was very shocking. The peach left the table and flew toward the pagoda, but it turned into ashes in the air and scattered on the ground. What's going on? The seventh elder of the Golden Crow tribe was stunned and stared at Lin Xian. Lin Xian was also stunned. The golden light in his eyes bloomed, and he looked at the table. He smiled. "So that's how it is. It looks like I've been fooled." With a wave of his hand, Lin Xian grabbed the white jade plate containing the immortal peaches and pulled it over. The plate was engraved with endless great Tao. It was very mysterious. There was even a palm at the bottom of the plate. Lin Xian was shocked. She was indeed a treasure. It was no wonder that the other spiritual herbs had already been destroyed, and only the peach of immortality was still intact. It was because of this plate. As soon as the peach left the plate, it instantly turned into ashes. The Golden Crow Elder had also noticed this. He roared, "Kid, give it to me." Lin Xian sneered. "You're about to die, yet you still want treasures? Go to hell." He waved his hand and activated his eye technique. The Blackwater mystical snake and the Frostfire swan flew over. The Golden Crow Elder roared angrily. The pagoda descended to resist the attack. Boom, boom. His aura was shaken, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. He knew he wasn't a match for him, so he turned around and fled. "Where are you going?" Lin Xian rushed up and struck out with the Great Destruction Spear. It was like a sharp sword that slashed down, courting death. The Golden Crow Elder kicked out and collided with the Spear of Great Destruction in the air. Lin Xian's arm was numb from the shock. The Golden Crow Elder was also shocked. Damn it! Was this brat already able to contend with him? This was too heaven-defying. Lin Xian sneered. He activated his eye technique and continuously attacked the Golden Crow Elder's soul. The Golden Crow Elder was disdainful at first, but Lin Xian's soul power was too strong, especially after he had recently comprehended the 14th Heavenly Secrets Tao diagram. The power of reincarnation was unleashed by him, turning into a ray of reincarnation light. The Golden Crow Elder's head cracked open, and his soul was injured. He roared and used the pagoda to protect his soul. Boom! The Frostfire swan shot out ice and froze him. The Blackwater mystical snake turned into a sharp sword and pierced through his body. Under the attacks of the two beasts, the Golden Crow Elder finally fell. The old man transformed into his true form and fell down, turning into a small golden mountain. Lin Xian took the old man's storage ring and the mountain-like corpse. Then, he searched the temple again. There was nothing else. It seemed that this was a place of worship. Lin Xian was not in a hurry to go out. Instead, he carefully looked at the white jade plate that he had obtained. After studying it, he found that the most important thing was that the palm formed by the Great Tao seemed to be able to hold up everything. This should be a terrifying divine ability. Lin Xian raised his palm and derived the great Tao on it. He had previously comprehended the heavenly court's Tao, which formed two ancient characters. Therefore, his cultivation speed was extremely fast at this moment. In addition, the great dragon sword soul had the ability to derive everything. Therefore, it did not take long for him to derive it. He felt that his palm had become extraordinary. What kind of power was this? Lin Xian was surprised. He felt that this palm did not seem to be able to attack, but it had a special divine ability. He took out the golden crow elder's body from before and held it in his palm. Immediately, a wave of power surged into the golden crow elder's body. There was a change. That enormous body actually turned into a drop of blood essence that floated above his palm. The pure power on it surprised Lin Xian. It seemed that the impurities had been removed. It was too magical. It must be related to the sacrifices of the heavenly court. Lin Xian was overjoyed and stored the blood essence. At the same time, he was about to hand the plate to Little White. After Little White came out and saw the white jade plate, she was also overjoyed. She waved her claws and directly pulled the great Tao over. The white jade plate shattered. The palm that was propped up landed on top of the treasure bowl, making it seem even more mysterious. Lin Xian was surprised. What is this? Little White babbled. The hand of creation. Lin Xian looked forward again and sighed. They must have been worshipping something back then, but I don't know what it is now. Little White said, I'm hungry. Let's go find the treasure. Lin Xian smiled. You little imp. Then, he left this place. With the treasure bowl and the hand of creation, Little White guided Lin Xian all the way through the mountains and rivers and finally arrived in front of him. There were mountains in front of him. The tallest one was tens of thousands of feet tall, like a sharp sword. At the top, there was a vine with a gourd on it. It seemed that there was more than one gourd in the past, but it had been taken away by someone, leaving only the last purple gourd. The gourd was not big, but it was a creation of heaven and earth. The power it contained was shocking. Little White clapped her hands and smiled. Hey, that thing suits me. You little guy, okay, I'll get it for you. Lin Xian smiled and walked forward. His appearance attracted the attention of countless people. In the next moment, everyone saw a man who looked like a demon walking over. Who is it? What a terrifying aura. Countless people looked over. But when they saw that Lin Xian was alone, they no longer paid attention. No matter how strong a person was, his ability was limited. Here, they relied on the strength of a group. In the sky ahead, the stars were bright, and the sun and moon alternated. The purple gourd on the mountain also shook. Endless purple light flew in all directions. Chapter 46-57. Countless people became nervous when they saw this scene. Their eyes shone with a cold light. It seemed that the gourd had changed. They had to get it. Anything that grew in the heavenly court was definitely heaven-defying. Some of the desolate ancient families had already guessed the origin of the gourd. It had appeared tens of thousands of years ago. It was a green-skinned gourd. This purple-skinned gourd might have the same power. If it was really that kind of gourd, they had to get it. Heaven and earth shook. The gourd seemed to have become the center of the world, spreading out in all directions. The purple aura turned into purple sword light that pierced through heaven and earth. Everyone felt a chill down their spines. They were all ready to attack. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. He turned his head and saw that the people from the top sects and families were all there. Other than that, there were some other experts. Although there weren't many people, no one who could come here was weak. The surrounding people were also excited, but no one dared to act rashly. The aura made them feel fearful. After a while, someone finally couldn't take it anymore. He turned into a ray of cold light and rushed over. This person had a holy radiance that shone between heaven and earth. He was from the Sacred Heavens clan. After they arrived, they threw out the Sacred Heavens diagram that shrouded the purple gourd. Not good. Seeing this, the others exclaimed. A few more people rushed up. A storm gathered. It was the Wind Clan. The Serene Cloud sect also attacked. They threw out a terrifying serene cloud palm that grabbed the purple-skinned gourd from another direction. Countless people were shocked. Could it be that the purple gourd was going to be obtained by these people? However, at this moment, on the vines, suddenly, Purple flames appeared. It swept out. It shrouded them. Boom. Get lost. Angry roars could be heard. Those experts roared and tried to counterattack. However, the purple flames were too terrifying. They were instantly ignited and burned to ashes. A few figures fell from the sky. There were still flames dancing on their bodies. In the end, they turned into nothingness. How terrifying. Countless people were shocked. Wasn't this vine too terrifying? However, the pupils of some experts shrank. No, it wasn't just the flames. There were other experts secretly attacking. Lin Xian frowned. He had indeed sensed an unusual aura. Golden light blossomed in his eyes. So that was how it was. Someone had indeed made a move in the dark. Who is it? Get out here. The experts of the Saint Heaven's clan were enraged. The void near the towering mountain cracked open, and a purple figure appeared. A terrifying aura enveloped the 9 heavens like a purple mountain. The flames turned into a sea that swept out in all directions. The surrounding people quickly retreated. This person was really too scary, and he didn't seem to be a human. Was it a demonic beast? Countless people were shocked. Divine light blossomed from their eyes as they observed the sky full of flames. Lin Xian saw it immediately and was shocked. It was the purple Qilin. Everyone was shocked. This was actually a Qilin, a divine beast. Had he been living in the heavenly court all this time? If that was really the case, it would be too terrifying. No, I know this purple Qilin. It came from the outside. An old man from the Wind Clan said through gritted teeth. The others heaved a sigh of relief when they heard this. However, he was also incomparably shocked. Although he did not come from the heavenly court ruins, the Qilin race itself was incomparably powerful, and their bloodline was extremely strong. Even the Qilin cave was an emperor race that had produced a great emperor. This purple Qilin was very strong, and would be difficult to deal with. This saint has taken a fancy to this gourd. You humans better scram, or I'll let you all swallow it. A shocking roar accompanied by terrifying flames swept out in all directions. Some of the weaker Saint Kings felt that their bodies were about to melt. The bloodline flames were really too powerful. You're too arrogant. Although you're a Qilin, which one of the people here isn't an ancient family or a peerless sect that isn't weaker than you? You want to take the purple gourd for yourself? I'm afraid you don't have the strength. The old man from the Wind Clan shouted coldly. Is that so? With just you guys? The purple Qilin was disdainful. He was a peak saint beast, and his strength was not something these people could imagine. Then what about us? The people from the Saint Heaven's clan walked out. The people from the Light Clan and the Serene Cloud sect also moved out. They were prepared to deal with the Qilin together. Only by killing it could they compete with each other and have a chance to obtain the purple gourd. Everyone, let's work together. The old man from the Wind Clan shouted. He raised his hand and a wind blade swept out. Thousands of wind blades swept out towards the purple Qilin. Boom. The purple flames that filled the sky were split apart in an instant. Countless people were shocked. It was too terrifying. Even Lin Xian was shocked. It seemed like he had to sit on the mountain and watch the tigers fight while waiting for an opportunity. The attack of the old man from the Wind Clan had thoroughly infuriated the Qilin. The purple Qilin roared crazily. A purple pillar of light rushed over. Attack. The people from the Light Clan rushed over. They reached the purple Qilin's side at extreme speed and punched out. The purple Qilin's body shook, but it did not break through its defense. Instead, its tail swept over like a heavenly blade. The people from the Light Clan quickly dodged. Buzz. The purple Qilin moved unhindered between heaven and earth. Its body was constantly growing. In the end, it was even more terrifying than 100,000 zhang tall mountain. The mountain was not even as big as its feet. After displaying such a strong physique, it began to kill in all directions. The surrounding experts quickly attacked. There was no choice. If they did not defeat the purple Qilin now, they would not even have the chance to get close. Run. Those who were prepared to watch ran away in the next moment. The flames had already killed many people in the surroundings. They were instantly turned into nothingness. Not even their bones were left behind. How valiant was this? Perhaps only the experts could go up and fight in close combat. The others could only join forces and attack from afar. Lin Xian kept dodging. From time to time, he would attack with the dragon's sword to extinguish the surrounding flames. He was relatively far away, so the flames were not too powerful and could not threaten him. However, it was impossible for him to get close. The figure that covered heaven and earth was like a god, blocking everyone's hope. However, the people who attacked were not weak either. The top experts of the clan of the ancients and the great sects were not a match for the purple Qilin in a one-on-one fight. However, at this moment, they attacked together. It was also extremely terrifying. Gradually, they suppressed the purple Qilin. Cracks began to appear on the purple Qilin's body. Purple blood dripped down. The Qilin was completely enraged. It attacked crazily. However, its injuries were getting worse. In the end, its body was burning with blood. It was only a matter of time before it died. Of course, the purple Qilin could escape. However, the purple calabash was too valuable. Even though it was injured to such an extent, the purple Qilin did not seem to want to escape. Chapter 46:58. Lin Xian stood in the distance and observed. At this moment, he sneered as he realized that the great sects had started to secretly attack each other. Although they were still hiding, Lin Xian knew that once the Qilin fell, these experts would fight again. This was the opportunity that he wanted. Only in such a situation would he be able to seize the treasure. Suddenly, Lin Xian frowned and activated his heavenly secret divine eyes to the extreme. It was as if he could see through everything. In the next moment, Lin Xian snorted. The Z Mansion had many tricks up their sleeves. The most mysterious people present were the Z Mansion's people. They had collected countless cultivation techniques and divine abilities. No one could say for sure how many tricks they had up their sleeves. At this moment, the Z Mansion's people seemed to have started to secretly attack while the other remote antiquity families had yet to react. However, none of this could escape Lin Xian's eyes. Lin Xian felt that it was time to go out. His figure flickered, and he rushed forward. At the same time, the purple gourd on the mountain became even more mysterious. The Tao runes on it intertwined, and it seemed to have been completed. The others sensed the change in the purple gourd, and they were also moved. There were also some hidden experts who rushed forward. They were like shadows, and their speed was extremely fast. Boom! The battle ahead was still going on. All sorts of terrifying laws filled the air, and the great Tao intertwined. The Qilin's body was already broken, and it would not be able to hold on for long. It might even be killed. At this moment, the gigantic Qilin's body quickly shrunk and turned into the size of a human. It then broke through the void and escaped. Did it leave? Countless experts stopped what they were doing and no longer attacked. This time, they had also suffered heavy losses. The number of people that they had brought with them was not less than one. However, the result was good. Their biggest enemy had left. Next, it was time for them to attack. Lin Xian frowned. It was earlier than he had expected. Xiaobai blinked her big eyes and said, "Oh, that Qilin did not run too far." It did not run too far? Lin Xian snorted. Could it be that the other party was also going to sit on the mountain and watch the tigers fight? However, he did not care. If the other party had been like this from the beginning, it might have been fine. But now, the other party was severely injured and did not have much strength left. If he dared to come out, he would suffer a terrible fate. Let's go. He used the void escape technique and tore through the void and flew towards the mountain. Soon, he arrived at the mountain range. At this moment, he could already feel the aura of the purple gourd. The purple light on his body, the purple light on, made a clanging sound. It was obvious that the purple-skinned gourd was an incredible treasure. He had to deal with it. Taking a deep breath, he prepared to make a move. However, at this moment, another voice came from behind him. You think you're not qualified? Get lost." Lin Xian turned around and discovered a few shadowy figures. They were the people of the Tranquil Cloud sect. These few figures, Xian Exuan Exuan Xian 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 Xian's hands Exuan Xian S. Demonic chi covered the area, turning into a demonic disc. It rushed over, as if it could destroy everything in the world. Courting death, three silhouettes rushed forward, down. Shadow arrow. Monstrous laws swept out, seemingly wanting to pierce through everything. Clanging sounds rang out as a great battle erupted. The expressions of the three tranquil cloud sect experts changed. They realized that even with the three of them working together, they were still unable to take down the other party. On the contrary, everyone was shaken to the point that their blood and chi were roiling. Lin Xian sneered. Within the pitch-black demonic chi, an astonishing gaze swept across. Their souls were injured. Initially, when the three of them were working together, their teamwork was formidable. However, at this very moment, their souls were being impacted. In fact, they were even affected by the illusion. Their teamwork would crumble in an instant. Lin Xian arrived in front of one of them and shattered his body with a single palm strike. Little White also grabbed the other person and knocked him out. Then, Lin Xian took out the Great Destruction and pierced the two of them. Three tranquil cloud sect experts had fallen. The pupils of those who had rushed over shrank when they saw this scene. So powerful. These three experts were all in the middle stage of the Saint King realm and were extremely powerful existences. He was about to reach the late stage of the Saint King realm, but in the hands of the other party, it was like cutting vegetables, killed in an instant. This demonic Dao expert was too scary. The other party was clearly an early-stage Saint King, but he possessed such strength. Damn it! Seeing this scene, the evil spirit's face turned cold. The other party dared to kill the people of the Tranquil Cloud sect. Damn it! His figure changed, and he wanted to rush over. But at this moment, a golden light streaked across, and a middle-aged man from the Golden Crow race charged towards him. The evil spirit roared. He could only fight with the other party, and did not have the mood to care about anything else. The current situation was extremely shocking. Everyone was fighting, and there seemed to be endless danger. The young geniuses were also facing the assassination of the older generation experts. Even Lin Xian was under attack once again. There were 5 experts around him, surrounding him. Lin Xian dodged quickly, and the demonic chi on his body surged to the skies, fighting against them. At this moment, another figure landed. Since this is the case, this thing is mine. An expert from the light race tore open the void and flew forward. This was a lady from the light race, and she seemed to be from the younger generation as well. Although she was not from the light race, she was equally terrifying. Her speed was extremely fast, and she leaped through everything, arriving beside the purple gourd. Not good, many people exclaimed. To think that the light race had such a hidden genius. The lady's lips curled as a golden net appeared around her, wanting to trap the other party. But at this moment, she was sent flying as though she was struck by lightning. What was going on? The people from the light race were shocked, and so were the others. Who was it? Where was the expert who could hit the light race? It must be the light race. They were too careless. From the void, a figure walked out. It was a skeleton, and there was no aura coming from it. The faces of the people from the light race were terrible. Damn it, it was a puppet. No wonder their geniuses could not sense it. The skeleton was secretly controlled by someone, and it sent the genius of the light race flying with a palm strike. The other palm formed an endless seal that covered the purple gourd. The purple gourd shone with a bright light that pierced through the 9 heavens. Cracks appeared on the skeleton palm, and it was even pierced through. However, this was just a puppet after all. It had no fear, and only knew how to follow orders. Even though it was riddled with holes, it still grabbed the purple gourd, tore open the void, and disappeared. Damn it, who was it? The people from the clan of the ancients were going crazy. Until now, they still did not know who was secretly controlling the skeleton. The other party's means were too terrifying. They had deceived everyone. Chapter 46-59. That's great. The people from the Z government were smiling. But very quickly, their facial expressions became ice-cold again. They also pretended to be anxious. They couldn't let others know that they were the ones who did it. They controlled the white bones and flew away. When the people here weren't paying attention, they would meet up again. Lin Xian snorted when he saw this scene. Others couldn't find it, but his Tianji divine eyes could. In the next moment, he shouted coldly, "Do you think we don't know that the Purple Mansion sect is secretly doing something?" What? The surrounding people were in an uproar. Did the Purple Mansion sect do it? They all turned their heads to look. The people from the Purple Mansion sect had ugly expressions. Who dares to challenge us? Lin Xian sneered. Only the people from the Purple Mansion sect were all-encompassing and had endless divine abilities. It wasn't difficult for them to control a mere white bone. If they didn't make a move, he would really get the item. Lin Xian's voice was erratic, and no one knew who it was that had spoken. However, everyone was sure that it was the Purple Mansion sect who did it. The people from the Purple Mansion sect snorted and quickly retreated. The others surrounded the white bone. Did they want to leave? The atmosphere became more and more tense. Some people even attacked. Lin Xian sneered when he saw this scene. His body flickered as he used the void escape technique and quickly flew in the air. He arrived in front of the white bone. Lin Xian struck out with his palm and hit the white bone. The white bone shook, but it didn't break. In fact, its hardness was beyond his expectations. Damn it, someone is attacking. The people from the Purple Mansion sect roared. Quickly chase after it. The item was stolen. The others also snorted. Don't try to trick us. However, there were also some people who flew into the air. Indeed, they saw a white bone being beaten out of the void. Who is it? They all turned their heads to look. The people from the Purple Mansion sect roared, but it was useless. They quickly controlled the white bone and left. The white bone was very strange. No matter how strong the attack was, it couldn't be opened. They were confident. The others flew into the air and attacked the white bone. Lin Xian's face sank when he saw this. Hard? Let's see if your defense is stronger or my attack is stronger. He summoned the great dragon sword soul, held it with both hands, and slashed out. Heaven and earth were split into two, and the white bone claw was chopped down. Lin Xian quickly left with the claw. Within the palm was the purple-skinned gourd. How is this possible? The faces of the people from the purple government palace behind them became ugly. Their smiles froze. The way they saw it, no one would be able to break through the skeleton. Yet, someone had actually managed to slash apart the sword image with a single sword strike. Who was it? They soared into the air. After setting up for so long, they finally succeeded. Who would have thought that it would be snatched away by someone else? How could they be willing to accept this? As for the others, their eyes turned red. Kill that person. It was that mysterious demonic cultivator from before. He absolutely could not let him escape. Everyone could see a demonic shadow shuttling back and forth. They were frantically chasing after him. Buzz. The people from the Light Clan were the first to catch up. They were very fast. This was especially true for the woman from before. She was already infuriated by the fact that she had been ambushed. Now that he had found his target, how could he give it up? People of the demonic path, go to hell. The woman from the Light Clan shot out a bolt of lightning. She was extremely powerful to begin with. It was enough to tear apart everything. This bolt of lightning was even more terrifying. Lin Xian's body was hit, and he deviated from his direction. However, he did not pay attention to it and continued flying. How was this possible? The woman from the Light Clan was stunned. He hadn't been able to break through his opponent's defenses with his attack. Instead, she was injured by the impact. Her palm was shattered. What kind of physique did he have? However, this attack had also slowed down Lin Xian's speed. The people from the Purple Government Palace rushed over in an instant. A middle-aged man formed a seal with his palms, forming a large purple net. The power of the seal was extremely terrifying. Obviously, it was a type of unique technique. The people from the Purple Government Palace were bound to kill. Buzz. A long spear flew out, tearing apart the large black net. At the same time, it shot towards the man in purple. The middle-aged man shouted angrily. He combined his palms and slapped on the Great Destruction Spear. He quickly retreated, and the Great Destruction Spear flew past him. It made his hair stand on end. Damn, this weapon is so terrifying. Buzz. In the sky, the sage heavenly diagram flew down with a power that could suppress heaven and earth. Lin Xian clenched his fist and punched out. It turned into a heavenly demon diagram to fight against it. At this moment, the power of the great dragon sword soul was displayed with every move he made. He did not use his unique technique. After all, he was still hiding his identity. He was afraid that these people would recognize him. However, With his demonic power and the power of the great dragon sword soul, it was enough to fight against them. From time to time, he would use his soul to attack. Once these people's souls were injured, they would become crazy. It seemed that they could not distinguish between friend and foe. Lin Xian was besieged by more than a dozen people, but he was not at a disadvantage. Damn it, who the hell is this? He's too strong. The top geniuses of our clan of the ancients are just OSO. The people from the Purple Government Palace looked gloomy. Damn it, their Purple Government Palace was all-encompassing and had many divine powers. However, they found that the other party seemed to be even more terrifying. Not only were his moves sharp, but they could also transform into anything. It seemed that the other party had mastered thousands of divine powers. Who is he? It was useless. At this moment, another strong cultivator came and completely surrounded Lin Xian. Boy, are you very strong? The Qilin from before was injured by us. Do you think you can withstand it? Indeed, no matter how strong Lin Xian was, he was only an early-stage Saint King. The demonic beasts at the peak of the Saint King realm had been driven away by them. They were ready to join forces again. Lin Xian naturally felt great pressure. Dragon-shaped sword chi flew out of his body and condensed into thousands of purple gourds. Then, he said, I don't want these gourds. You can have them. He waved his hand and a gourd flew to the Light Clan. The woman from the Light Clan immediately caught it and laughed. However, the next moment, she was dumbfounded because she found that after the first gourd, thousands of other gourds flew out. Damn it, are they illusions? Someone attacked. No, they couldn't tell the difference. How did he do it? These people found that each gourd seemed to be real. There was a sharp purple path aura on them. It was impossible to tell. They could only discover it when they attacked personally. Thousands of purple gourds flew in all directions. Everyone was fighting for them. Lin Xian took advantage of this opportunity to tear open the void and quickly leave. Spatial divine powers? Keep an eye on him. An old man shouted angrily. This was a late-stage Saint King, and he was from the Purple Government Palace. His eyes shone with purple light like two divine lamps, enveloping heaven and earth. Lin Xian felt as though he had been immobilized. That old man was sent flying. Little brat, do you think you can escape? Treasure, it's in your hands. What a terrifying eye technique. Lin Xian found that the people from the Purple Government Palace were really difficult to deal with. This should be a top eye technique. Did they also have it? Chapter 4660. Lin Xian turned his head. A golden light flickered in his eyes and collided with the other party's light. Then, the old man's soul shook, but he quickly shouted angrily. It's useless. Leave it for me. He stretched out his palm and turned it into a heavenly steel, suppressing Lin Xian. The ground below kept shattering. Lin Xian's face was cold. He held the Great Destruction sword tightly in one hand and the mysterious jade pedestal in the other. There was a teleportation array engraved on it that could allow him to leave this place instantly. However, the purple heavenly steel seemed to be able to seal everything. This thing could even seal heavenly demons, let alone you. The old man laughed loudly and descended from the sky. He had already arrived in front of Lin Xian. At this moment, a little monkey flew over from the black demonic chi. He was holding a purple gourd. A clear voice sounded. "Ya, baby, please turn around." The purple gourd shone brightly and suddenly opened. A sword light flew out from inside. The heavenly steel was split open. The old man's body was split in half, and even his soul was destroyed. This shocking scene made everyone go crazy. What appeared in the purple gourd? A flying sword. Was that an immortal sword? That was a late-stage Saint King. He was actually split in half by a sword, and his soul was destroyed. It was too unbelievable. Lin Xian was also stunned. It was so powerful. This flying sword was too terrifying. The flying sword in the sky flew back and entered the purple gourd. Little White looked around and said again, "Ya, baby, please turn around." However, this time, no flying sword flew out. Little White said, I've used up all my strength. It seems like I can only use it once." The surrounding people came back to their senses and quickly attacked. Taking advantage of this opportunity, They had to get the item. Lin Xian grabbed Little White and activated the mysterious jade pedestal. The array formation activated and teleported them away. Those Saint Kings roared crazily and attacked, shattering the void millions of miles away. However, they could no longer see anyone. In a quiet desert, Lin Xian walked out of the void. Little White was still experimenting. "Baby, please turn around." However, no flying sword flew out. What was going on? Lin Xian asked. Xiaobai said that with my strength, I'm afraid I can only use it once a day. Was it that magical? Let me try. After Lin Xian took it, he said, "Baby, please turn around." However, it was still useless. Little White squinted her crescent-shaped eyes and said, "I've already dripped my blood and soul on it. You can't use it." Lin Xian said, "You little rascal, when did you use it?" "So fast?" Xiaobai said, "This thing seems to be made for me to use." He lifted Little White up. Although he couldn't use this thing, it was the same for Little White. It could be considered a super powerful trump card. At this moment, the sand under their feet suddenly became hot. A wave of flames swept out, forming a cage that sealed off the entire world. What's wrong? Little White flew up in surprise and looked around with her big eyes. Lin Xian frowned. Someone was actually chasing after them. Could this flame be? "Brat, I didn't expect you to obtain this treasure in the end. You're really lucky." A cold snort was heard. Immediately after, the Qilin's figure walked out. Divine flames overflowed from his body as he stared at Lin Xian and then at Little White. "Little monkey, hand over the gourd in your hand." "Yeah, I already have the soul and bloodline imprint of this thing. It's useless to give it to you." Little White waved her hand and said, "Big guy, you should leave." Leave it to me. I'll erase your soul imprint. If I really can't, I'll kill you." Purple Qilin's eyes erupted with a terrifying light. Lin Xian said coldly, "You're from the Qilin clan and also a top-tier saint beast. Why do you have to lower yourself to the level of 2 juniors? Why don't you give it to me?" "Give it to you? How naive. Brat, you'll definitely die today." Fire Qilin took a step forward and terrifying flames swept out. Lin Xian felt a monstrous power. He struck out a terrifying dragon-shaped sword Qi to block it. At the same time, he slashed the void with his sword and released the flames into the void. "You have some tricks up your sleeve. It seems like you have some treasures on you. Since that's the case, I can't let you live." Purple Qilin walked over and stared at the two of them. Lin Xian snorted coldly, "You don't know what's good for you, but you actually walked over yourself. If you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish." Purple Qilin was stunned. "You aunt, what did you say? You want to kill me? What a joke. Do you know how strong I am?" Lin Xian sneered. "So what if you're at the peak of the Saint King realm? Previously, you were beaten up by those experts and were seriously injured. Instead of recuperating, you came out to seek death. I'm seriously injured, but killing you is as easy as flipping my hand." He was at the peak of the Saint King realm, and the other party was only at the early stage of the Saint King realm. The gap between the two of them was really too big. It could be said that a single glance could kill these two ants. Go to hell. He had no more patience. With a wave of his claws, he slapped towards Lin Xian. In his opinion, this attack would definitely kill Lin Xian. The void above him split open. Similarly, a sharp claw slapped out and collided with the fire Qilin. With a boom, the Qilin was forced back. His face was full of shock. How is this possible? Does he have such battle prowess? In the next instant, he saw a small vortex appear on his opponent's body. Then, a vermilion bird flew out. It had 3 eyes, especially the third eye, which bloomed with divine fire. Even his Qilin fire felt threatened. Demonic beast, you actually have a divine beast protecting you. This is really too unbelievable. Purple Qilin tore open the void and turned to flee. His opponent was also at the peak of the Saint King realm and was also a mutated species. More importantly, he was seriously injured. He could kill an ant at the early stage of the Saint King realm, but he didn't have any advantage against an expert of the same level. So he had to leave. You want to leave? The 3-eyed vermilion bird tore open the void and charged out. Its wings cut off the other party's escape route. Lin Xian walked over from behind. Since you're here, don't leave. Kid, do you dare to kill me? I'm from the Qilin race. I'm a divine beast. Qilin shouted coldly. Lin Xian said, so what if you're from the Qilin race? You're not a true descendant of the monarch race. You're just a purple Qilin. Besides, you're here to kill me. You want me to let you go? If you want to live, kneel down obediently and submit to me. Let me plant the seal of life and death in your soul. Lin Xian's eyes shone brightly. Purple Qilin roared. You want to control me? Damn it, you're a beast tamer. Lin Xian laughed. That's right. Since you know my identity, submit obediently and you can live. Otherwise, I'll refine you and make you my energy. Ignorant ant, my bloodline is so powerful. You don't deserve to have my Qilin's power. After speaking, he roared into the sky. The suppression of the Qilin's bloodline forced even the three-eyed vermilion bird to retreat. This was the suppression of the bloodline. Chapter 46-61. However, Lin Xian didn't care at all. A dragon's voice rang out from his body, suppressing the Qilin bloodline. Little White was also there, completely unaffected. How could this be? A monkey and a human actually didn't fear his bloodline? And this human actually let out a dragon's voice. Was he from the dragon race? Looks like you won't submit if I don't teach you a lesson. Lin Xian's eyes lit up and the three-eyed vermilion bird attacked. The purple Qilin roared and the two of them fought fiercely. Luckily, there wasn't anyone in the desert. The purple Qilin was a top-tier saint beast. It was only injured, so it was defeated by the three-eyed vermilion bird in the end. A pair of sharp claws grabbed the purple Qilin. The purple Qilin fell to the ground and roared. Kid, kill me if you dare. He didn't believe that a human youth had the power to kill him. Lin Xian took out the dragon sword soul and cut off the Qilin's claws. Then, he used the Hand of Fortune. The huge Qilin's claws quickly melted in the Hand of Fortune and turned into a drop of purple blood. How could this be? What did he do? The purple Qilin spirit was terrified. One had to know that his physique was so strong that a Saint King could injure him. What made him even more terrified was that Lin Xian could easily dissolve the energy in his body. Lin Xian condensed his claws and turned them into the purest energy. This was too unbelievable. This person was full of secrets. I submit. I'm willing to be your guardian beast. The purple Qilin had no choice but to lower his head in order to save his life. Very good. Let go of your soul and let me plant the seal of life and death. If you dare to resist, I'll kill you. Lin Xian started to use the seal of life and death. However, the purple Qilin was a top-tier saint beast. Even if it didn't resist, it still took him 10 days to complete it. After it was done, the purple Qilin's expression changed. Although it still retained its intelligence, there was a force in the depths of its soul that made it unable to resist Lin Xian's orders. At this moment, it was lying there respectfully. Lin Xian sat cross-legged and recovered quickly. This time, he had used up all his soul energy to plant the seal of life, and his soul energy was extremely weak. He had to recover quickly. It took him another half a month to recover the strength of his soul to its peak. It was too difficult. With his current strength, it was very difficult for him to control a pinnacle saint beast. Fortunately, it was Violet who was heavily injured this time. Otherwise, he would not have been able to control the other party. The most he could do was run away from the other party. Almost a month had passed. He wondered how the others were doing. Did you find any treasures? According to Lin Xian's conjecture, the others should have gained something. However, they probably wouldn't be able to obtain a heaven-shaking treasure in a short period of time. After all, the purple gourd was something he had spent a great deal of effort to guess. The other treasures would definitely be extremely dangerous as well. His guess was correct. Those experts and geniuses had all gained something, but they weren't satisfied. It was because they had discovered an even greater opportunity. However, it was even more dangerous. Either there was a peerless formation, or the treasure itself was incomparably heaven-defying and impossible to obtain. In the sky, 3 figures quickly flew past. They were extremely fast, as if they were looking for something. At this moment, A streamer streaked across the sky and blocked their path. The streamer was even faster than them. Guangming stopped and turned to look at the three people in front of him. He asked coldly, "What information did you get? Hand it over." The three people stopped. They were the three experts from the Wind Clan. Their faces were cold. "Our business has nothing to do with you, right? Get lost." Guangming sneered. "You don't know what's good for you. It seems that you don't understand my strength." He rushed over at his maximum speed. "You're courting death. Do you really think that I don't dare to attack you? If you die here, no one will know that it's us. Attack." The three experts were furious and rushed forward. On the surface, these remote antiquity families and sects were at peace and even allied with each other. However, each of them was an opponent. If there was a chance to kill the geniuses of the other families, they would naturally attack. Soon, they realized that they were wrong. Although they were from the Wind Clan and had mastered the power of the wind, they were much slower than Guangming. They couldn't find any trace of Guangming at all. Guangming's every attack made them vomit blood. "You're too slow. You're like a snail in front of me." Not long after, the three of them vomited blood and were suppressed. Guangming's eyes flickered as he interrogated them. Finally, he got some information. With a wave of his hand, Guangming killed the three of them. In the next moment, he soared into the sky. On the other side, Yu Wudao was fighting with the people from the Holy Heavens clan. In the end, he obtained 2 divine crystals that had something sealed inside. Jin Wuhao attacked the people from the Pill Cauldron School and snatched a spirit fruit. Half of the spirit fruit had been petrified, but it was still a mysterious treasure. Feng Huang, Shang Tiance, Yu Xie, and the others were doing their best to find the treasure. Gradually, they flew in the same direction. In that direction, a terrifying power was released. Qin Xiener stopped in a mountain range. She frowned when she saw that there was a battle in front of her. The ones fighting were Violet Palace Realm experts and other experts. The one fighting was a light-shaking realm expert. The light-shaking realm expert was very powerful. He used the great, desolate, sky-rending palm and killed 4 mid-stage holy kings in an instant. Then, he sealed their bodies and took them away. Qin Xiener was shocked. Could this guy be? Who is he? The light-shaking realm expert turned his head and looked at her. When he saw that it was Qin Xiener, his killing intent disappeared. He took a step forward and came to Qin Xiener's side. Qin Xiener asked, "Are you going to cultivate that cultivation technique?" The light-shaking realm expert sneered. "You know quite a lot. Although you're one of the successors of the Immortal Mountain, I advise you to mind your own business. Successors can also die. No one can be sure who will be the final successor. If you die, someone will take your place. So, it's best for you to pretend that you don't know anything. As for the divine ability you mentioned, I can start cultivating it when I get back." The light-shaking realm expert snorted and left. Qin Xiener's face was pale. He dared to cultivate that kind of demonic cultivation technique? Wasn't he afraid of making the world his enemy? The Violet Palace realm was all-encompassing. They had many cultivation techniques and divine abilities, but some of them couldn't be cultivated. First of all, the conditions to cultivate them were very strict. Only a small number of geniuses had the qualifications to cultivate them. Moreover, even if they cultivated them, they wouldn't dare to use them because it was a taboo martial art that wasn't allowed to appear in the world. But now, the Violet Palace realm was going to let a light-shaking realm expert cultivate them? That's too inconceivable. Forget it. I can't do anything about it. Qin Xiener shook her head. It was better not to provoke this guy. Otherwise, her life would be in danger. When she thought of this, her figure flickered and left. In the vast desert, suddenly, there was another change. Lin Xian opened his eyes. What was going on? Chapter 46-62. He wanted to leave, but the situation shocked him. The desert moved quickly, forming quicksand and a huge whirlpool. Then, the ground cracked and a terrifying aura spread out. There was something shocking under the desert. Lin Xian was shocked. He wanted to check it out, but he left in an instant and flew into the distance. The aura here instantly alarmed many people. Experts descended to investigate the area. Great, there was actually a treasure trove here. Perhaps the secret of the heavenly court was here. Several figures descended one after another, and then they began to fight. They tore through the 9 heavens and swept through the area. They were all peak Sage Kings. They were strong enough to destroy everything. Lin Xian watched from afar and was sweating. Although he was far away, he could see clearly with his eye technique. He could even feel the terrifying aura coming from under the desert. More and more experts were making their way to this place. Among them, there were a few who were unusually strong. Lin Xian gasped. He did not expect that there would be such experts after the great sages and peak sage kings were teleported away. It had to be said that there were too many experts in the remote antiquity families and great sections. Those experts looked solemn when they arrived. At the same time, a few figures descended. One of them had the sage sky diagram around him. He was like an unparalleled god of war. He was extremely strong. Sage Tianba, peak sage king from the Sage Sky clan. His arrival caused the entire world to tremble. There was indeed a treasure. Another cold voice sounded. It was a golden crow. He was extremely strong and was called Golden Crow Flame. He was also a peak sage king. Buzz. The sky was filled with hurricanes. A lady from the Wind clan walked out. She was the younger sister of the Wind clan leader. Her name was Feng Hua. She was a peak sage king. Although the other clans and sects also had peak sage kings, they were still weaker than the 3 of them. These 3 people were also unparalleled existences among the peak saint kings. The 3 of them stood at the front and looked down at the desert. The other experts stood around them. Lin Xian watched from afar. At this moment, a black figure came to his side. Lin Xian turned around and realized that it was He Shan. Speaking of which, where did you go? Black Mountain said that he want to get something. Next, I have to enter the desert and I need your help. Was it to break the array? Lin Xian asked. He Shan shook his head. Let them break the array formation. When the time comes, I want to go in and take something. That is my purpose for coming here. However, I might need some of your blood. A drop of blood. What was Lin Xian surprised about? He Shan smiled mysteriously. Let's not talk about it now. However, if you help me, I won't treat you unfairly. When the time comes, I will also help you obtain the treasure. Lin Xian nodded. Although there were many peak saint kings in front of him, and even 3 top experts, Lin Xian had nothing to fear with He Shan around. Moreover, he still had many trump cards. At this moment, Feng Hua made her move. With a wave of her jade-like hand, the storm that filled the sky fell down. The endless desert was torn apart, causing the crack to widen even more. Everyone could clearly see that there was a stone door below. It was extremely thick and heavy, as if it was blocking everything. Let me do it. After the storm, Shang Tianba made his move. He took a step forward, and the sage sky diagram rotated and blasted the stone door below. With a hong sound, heaven and earth shook. Cracks appeared in all directions. Such power was enough to shatter the outside world. Only the ancient ruins of the heavenly court was extremely powerful. The stone door in front of them had a crack. It was obvious that it had been pushed open. Everyone was shocked. How powerful was Shang Tianba? Even with the sage sky diagram, he could only open a crack. From the looks of it, it would take a lot of energy to completely open it. Golden Crow House said from afar. Elder, quickly call the old ancestor over. In front of them, Golden Crow Lion nodded and waved his hand. A spell flew out and flew into the sky. He was summoning their great saints. The other clans of the ancients and the great sects also moved. In the current situation, it was better to let the great saints come. However, after waiting for a while, they frowned. None of the great saints came. What was going on? I can't seem to sense the old ancestor's aura. Could it be? The old ancestor didn't come in? How was that possible? The first to enter were the great saints, but until now, they had not discovered anything. Thinking about it carefully, they did not even see the great saints in some of the important treasures. It was too unbelievable. Would the great saints be willing to give up these treasures? Wind Phoenix frowned. It seemed that some of the peak saint kings of the Wind clan did not see them either. The others were discussing among themselves. What was going on? These people were the first to enter. At this moment, there was no news. Could it be that something had happened? Thinking of this, Everyone felt their scalps go numb. It was impossible. Some people shook their heads. Those great saints were heaven-defying. Even if there was danger, they could still leave calmly. They must be in an even more mysterious place to seize the treasures. Here, let us do it. That's right. The experts of the Serene Cloud sect also walked over. The others were ready to join forces again. Everyone listened and attacked together. With the 3 peak Saint Kings in charge, everyone attacked together. Lin Xian was also among them. He released his extreme demonic qi. Finally, under the joint efforts of everyone, the terrifying stone door opened. A desolate aura spread out from inside. Let's go. The 3 peak Saint Kings took the lead. The others followed suit. Not long after, an earth-shattering sound came from inside. All kinds of laws flew out. Sensing this scene, Lin Xian frowned and sneered. They started fighting so quickly? It seemed that he could reap the benefits again. Heishan walked over and said, "Kid, we can't wait any longer. The things inside are extremely important to me. I have to get them quickly." As he spoke, he flew over. Lin Xian was surprised. What was it? He followed closely behind. After the 2 of them entered, they found that there was another world inside. It was incomparably vast, and at this moment, all the experts had entered. After entering, these people's eyes turned red because they found that there were some spiritual herbs growing on the ground. They were very old, at least tens of thousands of years old. Quickly take action. This kind of thing could not be found outside. One stalk was priceless, and here, there were more than a dozen stalks. In an instant, there were Saint Kings taking action. The people of the Holy Heavens clan took out the Holy Heavens diagram and enveloped them with a few stalks of spiritual herbs. The people of the Light clan tore apart the other party's divine ability and attacked. The people of the Wind clan and the Serene Cloud sect also joined the battle. The experts of the Pill Cauldron sect were even more powerful. With the Pill Cauldron in hand, they swept through the surroundings. As alchemists, they were naturally jealous of such old herbs. So, they had to get their hands on them no matter what. A great battle broke out in an instant. Everyone was fighting for it. Chapter 46-63. Kid, let's go deeper. Heishan said. Although these things were good, he did not care about them. He only had one goal, which was to get that thing. Everything else did not matter. No, I have to get one. This thing might be able to extend my life. After all, it was an old medicine from tens of thousands of years ago. Lin Xian was looking for such a spiritual medicine to extend Xia Zhiyo's life. Now that he saw it, how could he stop? Therefore, he attacked in an instant. Little White, make a move in secret. You must get one. Lin Xian let Little White out. The little fellow nodded, hugging the treasure bowl and hiding in the void. Lin Xian went to the other side. He did not go to the place where the Peak Sage Kings were fighting. He went to the other side. There were many young geniuses there. If he fought again, there would be a few older experts. Lin Xian did not hide this time. He struck out with the human ruler seal. The black demonic qi was terrifying. The sky darkened instantly. A pile of black demonic seals flew forward. Not good. The pupils of the people who were fighting in the front shrank. This power was really too strong. Retreat. Everyone retreated one after another. A few who retreated too slowly were directly slapped into a bloody mist. Who was it? How terrifying. Many people turned around. Their eyes were shining brightly. Among them, Jinwu Hao sneered. He struck out with his palm. A golden flame swept out and collided with the black figure. The earth-shattering power shook the sky. Jinwu Hao retreated. His arm was numb. His face was cold. The other party could fight with him. It was unbelievable. Buzz. At this moment, a black sword with a cold and gloomy aura shrouded the area. Suddenly, 7 figures were pierced. They vomited blood and flew backward. How terrifying. The evil spirit came, holding the evil sword. He sneered, "Get lost if you don't want to die." After he finished speaking, he slashed out 2 more times. It was incomparably vast, and some middle-stage Saint Kings fell. When the others saw this, they retreated. There were too many experts. They could not hold them back. You get lost too. The evil spirit looked at Lin Xian and snorted coldly before charging at him again. Lin Xian was fearless. He took out great destruction and faced the attack head-on. When the two of them collided, Worski's power surged. Just the residual power of the collision alone was enough to cause the surrounding people's blood to boil. As he attacked, Lin Xian formed a seal, and the primordial demonic mountain came crashing down. Demonic chi filled the air. The evil spirit was pushed back, its face cold. "Who are you?" He was too surprised. Those who could fight on par with him were definitely the top few. However, he had never known a demonic cultivator to be so terrifying. Scram! Lin Xian didn't waste any more words. He stared at the 10,000-year-old medicine and quickly rushed over. "Don't even think about having your way." Golden Crow How charged over. The terrifying flames blotted out the sky and rushed towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian countered with a man-ruler seal, forcing his opponent to retreat. Blood flowed from the corners of Jin Wuhao's lips. He roared. What were they waiting for? Attack together. And all of you, kill him together. Otherwise, no one can stop him. The other elders and geniuses were shocked as well. Indeed, this demonic cultivator was too ferocious. Even the evil spirit and Golden Crow How were no match for him. None of them could suppress the other in a one-on-one fight. They had to work together to kill this strongest person. Only then would they have a chance. Everyone attacked together. With the elder taking the lead, the others also surrounded Lin Xian. Lin Xian's expression was cold. Scram! I don't want to kill you. Don't make me do it. Kill him. Golden Crow How roared and charged forward with his people. On the other side, some people also made their move. More than a dozen figures quickly charged towards Lin Xian. None of them were weak. Lin Xian felt immense pressure. He snorted coldly. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Buzz. A genius from the Wind Tribe charged to Lin Xian's back and slashed down with a sharp blade. Lin Xian's body swayed. With a swing of his shoulder, he shattered the blade wind. At the same time, he turned around and slashed his opponent into two. In the blink of an eye, a genius had fallen. It made everyone's scalp go numb. The others roared, "Kill him!" The pagoda fell from the sky. The people from the Holy Heavens tribe pushed it, but it was destroyed by Lin Xian's punch. At this moment, Lin Xian's body was filled with a strong demonic aura. It turned into a demonic sword and swept in all directions. His physique was even more powerful than any saint weapon. The great destruction in his hand blocked the attacks of the Golden Crow How and the evil spirit. It was as if a giant dragon had rushed into a pack of wolves, sweeping across the land. Buzz. A middle-aged man suddenly appeared and blocked Lin Xian. He sent out thousands of palm shadows. In the blink of an eye, he blocked Lin Xian's path. This was an expert from the Light Tribe. He was a late-stage holy king. Lin Xian could not dodge in time and took the punch head-on. Boom. In the next moment, he was pushed back and the demonic aura on his body was torn apart. It's you. Many people were stunned when they saw Lin Xian. Golden Crow How's eyes turned red. You're not dead. Some people frowned. How could this be? They saw Lin Xian. Lin Xian did not hide it. That's right. It's me. I helped you break the array, but you wanted my life. Since that's the case, you can go to hell. Human Ruler Seal. Yi Futian sent out 3 Renwang Madras at the Mighty One from the Light Clan. The Mighty One roared furiously and fought back. He was a holy king. However, Lin Xian's fighting strength had reached its peak. The great dragon sword spirit roared continuously. Lin Xian's fighting strength had increased exponentially. Every attack was stronger than before. The expert from the Light Tribe felt his blood boil. Damn it! He could fight against a late-stage holy king. Kill him quickly. He could not be allowed to continue growing. Buzz. At this moment, a finger flew towards Lin Xian. With a boom, it pierced through Lin Xian's shoulder. Lin Xian almost fell to the ground. He suddenly turned around and used great destruction to push back the opponent's palm. What a terrifying physique. After the person was pushed back, her face turned cold. She was also a late-stage holy king. She was from the Purple Mansion realm and cultivated the ancient technique, Dragon Elephant Finger. Even if it was a late-stage saint king, This attack would be enough to shatter him into pieces. However, there was only a finger-sized hole in Lin Xian's body. She found it hard to believe. Kill. Lin Xian roared and waved his hands. A large crack flew out. Now that he had revealed the true identity of the great desolate heaven-splitting hand, he did not need to hide it anymore. Therefore, he used this technique at this moment. The person from the Purple Mansion realm used the dragon elephant finger to fight back, but she was pushed back and vomited blood. Damn it! How could it be? How could he comprehend it in such a short time? He must be crazy. This was also an ancient technique. However, it was extremely difficult to cultivate. Lin Xian had obtained it from the Purple Mansion realm, and it was not much weaker than his dragon elephant finger. He did not know that Lin Xian had the great dragon sword spirit and could cultivate this technique at the fastest speed. As long as he could grasp the essence of the technique, the great dragon sword spirit would be able to unleash unlimited power. Chapter 46-64. The Great Desolate Heaven-Splitting Palm. Another attack was launched at Jin Wu Hao. Jin Wu Hao tried his best to block the attack, but his body was still torn in half. He roared like a madman as his body rapidly retreated. Lin Xian turned around and stared at the evil spirit. The evil spirit roared and attacked together. He brought 4 figures with him and charged over. One of them was an elder. The evil spirit's sword slashed at Lin Xian's body, tearing open a wound. Lin Xian did not dodge. The great desolate heaven-splitting palm flew out again, turning one of the evil spirit's arms into a bloody mist. The evil spirit's sword fell. At this moment, an elder appeared behind Lin Xian. Wind Dragon Fist. This was an expert from the Wind tribe. Lin Xian had a Taiji diagram behind him, blocking the attack. The aura of death enveloped the elder, draining his life force. He retreated in fear. Damn it! His originally gray hair had already become incomparably pale. Lin Xian fought against more than 10 people alone. A few of them died, and Jin Wu Hao, the evil spirit, and the others were injured. Lin Xian was also injured, but the more he fought, the more courageous he became. His physique was strong, and this injury was nothing to him. Finally, he reached the front and looked at the spiritual herb, his eyes shining. It was a black spiritual herb, like the flower of 9 underworlds, blooming continuously. Lin Xian did not know what effect it had. He would get it first. Countless seals appeared on his palm, and Lin Xian grabbed forward. Damn it! Jin Wu Hao's broken body healed, and he attacked again. The others attacked as well. The Dragon Elephant Finger and Wind Dragon Fist were all aimed at Lin Xian. Lin Xian did not dodge, and the Great Sage Pagoda appeared behind him to block. Heaven and earth shook, and the Great Sage Pagoda blocked all the attacks. Lin Xian finally grabbed the spiritual herb. Damn it! What is this pagoda? It's so terrifying. The others were shocked. The eyes of those from the Purple Mansion sect shone. A great sage artifact? He actually had such a defense. At this moment, Lin Xian had already grabbed the 9 Serenities flower. Then, he rose into the air and prepared to leave. Elder, stop him. He had a supreme treasure with him. Golden Crow How roared, and a golden palm came from afar. That was a peak stage Saint King, and right now, he was engaged in a great battle elsewhere. Hearing Golden Crow How's call, a hand grabbed Lin Xian. With a clang, he grabbed the Great Sage Pagoda, wanting to seal it completely. If he could obtain it, his power would increase 10-fold, or even 100-fold. Humph! Lin Xian coldly snorted and summoned the Great Dragon Sword Soul. The 2 drops of essence blood that he had refined earlier merged into the Great Dragon Sword Soul. A sword slashed out. The palm was severed. A roar came from the distance. An old man in the distant battlefield pulled back his arm. At this moment, white bones could be seen, and blood flowed out. Jin Wu Hao and the others were also dumbfounded. What was this? Killing a peak stage Saint King with a single slash. Do you still want to fight? Lin Xian looked around. This attack had made 2 drops of his essence blood disappear. If he used it again, he would have to use his own strength. He didn't want to use it in such a dangerous place. However, if these people didn't know what was good for them, he wouldn't mind. Kid, just you wait. The evil spirit was afraid. Lin Xian had a supreme treasure with him. It was too strange. His defense was strong, and his attack was unparalleled. There was no way to fight him. He could only retreat and go for something else. Jin Wuhao also gritted his teeth and left. The others also retreated. The people from the Purple Mansion sect coldly stared at Lin Xian. Brat, you don't have many good days left. Enjoy them slowly. The sword attack just now had shocked him. The Purple Mansion sect had been passed down for a long time, and he could already guess what it was. So when they returned, they had to hurry up and kill this young man. Humph! Lin Xian snorted and slashed out again. The great dragon sword roared and attacked the Purple Mansion sect's expert. Damn it! The Purple Mansion sect's expert's face turned green. How could Lin Xian still be able to use it? In his opinion, whether it was the Great Sage Tower or the Flowing Dragon Sword, they both surpassed the strength of a holy king. It was already heaven-defying for an early-stage holy king to be able to use it once. He probably didn't have the strength to use it a second time, but now he was wrong. His arms were broken, and the dragon-elephant phantom blocked in front of him. He spat out half a mouthful of blood that covered his broken arms. Then he quickly fled. Boom! The dragon-elephant phantom roared and charged towards the great dragon sword shadow with a bloody aura. Boom! 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 The dragon-elephant phantom was destroyed, and the Purple Mansion sect's expert was sent flying. He fled in fear, and he didn't dare to return. Lin Xian's face turned pale, and he put away the great dragon sword soul. It consumed too much energy, and he couldn't use it unless he had no other choice. He looked around and collected the interspatial rings of these people. As for the corpses, he didn't give up. Lin Xian could refine these corpses into blood essence. It could be used to refine his body, and it could also be used by the Great Dragon Sword Soul at a critical moment. Whether it was his body or the Great Dragon Sword Soul, they were both bottomless pits, so he wouldn't give up on these corpses. He formed seals with his palms, and one seal after another enveloped the corpses. At this moment, he was stunned. He realized that there was someone else collecting the corpses. Lin Xian raised his head to look at the other person, and the other person also turned to look at him. It's you. It's you. Their voices sounded at the same time. The person in front was Yao Guang, and he was surrounded by fiend god phantoms. At this moment, he was also sealing the corpses. Lin Xian frowned. What do you want these corpses for? Yao Guang laughed. What are you collecting them for? To be honest, Yao Guang was also puzzled. He was collecting the corpses because he was going to cultivate a forbidden divine ability. This divine ability was extremely terrifying, so he had to prepare in advance. However, he didn't expect Lin Xian to be the same as him. What did he want them for? Could it be that the other party also knew a forbidden divine ability? However, he shook his head. There were probably not many people in the Purple Mansion realm who dared to cultivate such a forbidden divine ability. The other party had no chance to learn it, so he was even more puzzled. However, this guy wasn't weak, and he didn't want to fight with him now. Yao Guang turned around and left. Lin Xian stared at the other party for a long time, but he didn't make a move. He turned around and looked. On the other side, Little White had already begun to move in secret. Those people were quickly snatching. Little White was using the treasure bowl and the hand of fortune to secretly snatch the herbs. Finally, an expert from the 10,000 Transformations Gate grabbed the stalk of old medicine. At this moment, Little White was gone. The old medicine disappeared without a trace. Damn it! Who was it? The eyes of the expert from the Myriad Transformation sect turned red. He had gone through untold hardships to obtain it. In the end, it was snatched away in an instant. Moreover, that power was too strange. He didn't understand why only a leaf was left. There were very few eyes. The power of Myriad Transformation flew out, and everything around him was quickly disintegrated. This guy was crazy. Those who were still fighting over the treasures quickly retreated. Wherever they passed, the void would tear apart continuously. A white figure flew into the distance. Chapter 46-65. It was a dead monkey. Damn it. Stay here. A talisman appeared in the sky as soon as the talisman was cast. It was the Myriad Transformations talisman, and it was extremely terrifying. Boom! A seal of the human ruler slammed into the rune and blocked it. The man-ruler seal was slowly broken down, and Whitey came to the side of a figure. Who was it? How dare you meddle in my business? The expert from the Myriad Transformations sect was murderous. Lin Xian said coldly, I'll take this old medicine. Get lost. Damn it. You? The expert from the Myriad Transformations sect rushed over. At the same time, the others also said that it was this guy. He didn't die. When they saw Lin Xian, they were extremely shocked. Kill him. He had already obtained a stock of ancient medicine before this. What? The eyes of the surrounding people turned red. You want to kill me? Do you have the ability? Lin Xian looked around. A crack appeared in the sky. Those who crossed the line would die. This scene scared many people away. Lin Xian was very powerful to begin with, and some people had seen him in the previous battle. So those people quickly retreated. Of course, not everyone retreated, because there were some late-stage Saint Kings among them. Especially the expert from the Myriad Flowers sect. He gritted his teeth and said, I've crossed the line. What can you do to me? He walked over aggressively. Lin Xian's eyes burst out with cold killing intent. You don't have the right to say such words. Another figure walked out. It was also an expert from the Wind Clan. The last person was an elder from the Golden Crow clan. The three late-stage Saint Kings enveloped the entire area. Their cold eyes swept across the land. This kid has a spiritual medicine on him. You guys divide it. I'll go kill that damn monkey. The expert from the Myriad Words sect rushed toward Whitey. The experts from the Wind Clan and the Golden Crow clan targeted Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted coldly and summoned the Ice Fire Swan. The terrifying power of ice and fire filled the air. At the same time, he also charged toward the expert from the Wind Clan. A great battle broke out in an instant. Damn monkey, die for me. The Myriad Transformations sect's expert unleashed the power of Myriad Transformations and charged toward Whitey. Xiaobai dodged swiftly and took out a gourd. Baby, please turn around. The purple-skinned Hu Lu released a piercingly cold sword light that instantly split open the body of the Myriad Transformation Gates expert. Even in death, that powerhouse did not believe that he would actually be insta-killed by a sword. Was he dead? Countless people were shocked. That was a Saint King at the late stage. Some people's expressions changed drastically. Damn it, the purple-skinned gourd. The treasure was actually in their hands. He was the Devil Dao expert from before. Cries of surprise could be heard as the eyes of countless people turned red. The people of the light race were fast. They came before Xiaobai and were about to strike. Lin Xian summoned the Blackwater mystical snake to protect Little White and quickly retreated. At the same time, they entered the Great Sage Pagoda and rampaged about. Damn it, they roared. All of their attacks landed on the Great Cathedral. The Great Sage Tower swayed and blocked everything. Then, the three-eyed vermilion bird attacked and killed the strong cultivators of the Wind Tribe and the Golden Crow Tribe. Then, he rushed inside. Damn it, these people chased after him. Lin Xian controlled the Great Sage Pagoda and attacked the other places with spiritual herbs. Immediately, those people roared crazily. Those who followed behind the Great Sage Pagoda were also attacked. Damn it! You dare to attack me? These people all retaliated. A great battle broke out again. Until now, no one could tell who had attacked first. Lin Xian did not attack again. He had obtained 2 stalks of ancient herbs, both of which were more than 30,000 years old. His harvest could be said to be very bountiful. After carefully storing the 2 stalks of ancient herbs, Lin Xian continued to fly inside. Not long after, he heard Black Mountain's voice transmission. Black Mountain said, "Kid, come over quickly." Lin Xian walked over. Then, he was stunned. In fact, he could not believe it. There were 9 true dragons in front of him. Their cold scales flickered and shone brightly. Each of the true dragons was 1,000 meters long and had a terrifying aura. They bared their fangs and brandished their claws. Lin Xian frowned. He carefully sensed and found that these 9 true dragons had no aura. Were they dead? He was too shocked. They had been dead for tens of thousands of years, but their bodies were still intact. How heaven-defying was this? What kind of cultivation did these 9 true dragons have before? He did not dare to imagine. Was this Black Mountain's goal? Lin Xian was surprised and looked forward again. He found that there were chains on the 9 true dragons. At the end of the chains was a bronze coffin. Who was buried there? Did he need 9 true dragons? Lin Xian was really stunned. What was this? He asked Black Mountain. Black Mountain said, "It's very complicated. I can't explain it clearly in a short time. Do you see the lamp on the bronze coffin? That's my goal." Lin Xian's eyes shone with a golden light. He said, "I see it. What is that?" Black Mountain said, "Sky Lantern." With him, there was hope for the heavenly court to be reactivated. The heavenly court to be reactivated. Lin Xian was shocked when he heard this. As expected, he said, "I guessed right. You should be from the heavenly court back then, right?" "Kid, you're right. In the battle back then, I fell. This time, I'm here to reactivate the heavenly court." Black Mountain was really from the heavenly court. He was too shocked. No wonder he was so familiar with this place and could even break the array formation so easily. He could even find the Sky Lantern. Everything made sense now. He said, "What happened in the battle back then? Who destroyed the heavenly court? Was it the Purple Mansion?" Black Mountain said that it was related to the Purple Mansion. However, there was an even more terrifying existence. Forget it, this was even more difficult to explain. He would get the Sky Lantern first. He walked forward. Boom. When Black Mountain approached the Sky Lantern, the sky and earth shook. A terrifying force flew out from the front and swept in all directions. Lin Xian retreated and instantly hid in the Great Sage Tower. The hall continued to rumble. Lin Xian was shocked. What was going on? What a terrifying aura. He was really stunned. Those who were still fighting in the distance were also shocked. What a terrifying power. There was an even more heaven-defying treasure. Go. Some people had already obtained the old medicine and flew forward. Some people gritted their teeth. They knew that it was impossible to get the old medicine. It was better to look for other treasures. These people all flew forward. When they arrived, they were incomparably shocked. Were these 9 true dragons? It was too unbelievable. These true dragons had indestructible bodies after 50,000 years. How heaven-defying were their cultivations back then? There was also a bronze coffin. Countless people were shocked. What was hidden inside? Was it the master of the heavenly court back then? There seemed to be something on the coffin. It was a lamp. Countless people were shocked. The expressions of the people from the Purple Mansion instantly changed. An old man stood out and shouted coldly. Could it be the legendary Sky Lantern? Some of the people from the clan of the Ancients gasped. This was the inheritance token of the heavenly court. As long as the Sky Lantern was not extinguished, the balance would not be extinguished. If they obtained it, they might be able to obtain the inheritance of the heavenly court. Chapter 46-66. Some people's eyes turned red. That was an extremely terrifying existence. Those from the Purple Mansion sect sneered. The Sky Lantern had been extinguished, and the heavenly court would never be reactivated. This time, they would be completely destroyed. Murderous intent appeared in their eyes. You want to destroy the heavenly court? Ridiculous. Heishan turned around and harumphed coldly. If the Purple Mansion sect could be reactivated, the heavenly court could be reactivated too. Who are you? They stared at Heishan with murderous intent in their eyes. You want to reactivate the heavenly court? Are you kidding me? The elder charged over, his vast palm blotting out the sky and covering the earth as he charged towards Black Mountain. The terrifying aura made everyone despair. The heaven-shaking seal. His first move was an ancient lost art. Heishan stood there unmoved, and a terrifying force came out of the bronze coffin. The heaven-shaking seal was shattered, and the Purple Mansion sect cultivator was also sent flying. He vomited blood and turned into a bloody mist. The others were shocked. Was there someone alive in the bronze coffin? Impossible. He had been dead for 50,000 years. If the great emperor couldn't survive, they would definitely die. I don't care about the heavenly court. I want to open the coffin and see if there are any inheritances in it. Golden Crow Lion of the Golden Crow clan walked out and shouted coldly. The others nodded. They didn't care about the heavenly court. They only wanted treasures and inheritances. At this time, an elder of the light race flew out, turning into a streak of light with extreme speed. He tore through the void and arrived near the bronze coffin. He reached out with both hands and was about to grab it. Shan snorted and slapped down, turning the light clan cultivator into a bloody mist. You think you can do it? He turned around and sneered. Dead. The black-robed man was so terrifying. Damn it, the light clan cultivator roared, but he didn't dare to move forward. Come and help me, kid. Shan ignored the others and looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian nodded and flew forward. He felt a great pressure. Shan waved his hand and brought him to the vicinity. Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief and said, What do you want me to do? Use your trump card. With that, he waved his hand and 10 storage rings appeared. He said, There are enough resources inside. You can use the dragon soul as much as you want. Lin Xian nodded and grabbed the storage ring with his claw. Do you think you can light up the sky lanterns? That was impossible. The three-peaked Saint King stood out and said, It was time to join forces. A woman walked over from the purple mansion. Her voice was piercingly cold as she said, The heavenly court must not be reopened. Everybody, please lend a helping hand to the Z government. This time, the treasures you snatched will belong to you. Furthermore, if you manage to kill those 2 people, you will be able to destroy the lantern. Then, my purple mansion will give each faction an ancient scripture. Is that true? The people around exclaimed. Even the clan of the ancients was shocked. What Yi Futian gave them was definitely not inferior to what they already had. This way, they would be able to become even more powerful. The Wind Clan member nodded. The eyes of the Holy Heavens race and Light race lit up. The woman from the Purple Mansion, Fairy Zillion, said coldly, Everyone, let's attack together. She walked forward. The surrounding people all came over. Lin Xian was not very observant. He realized that except for the Danding sect, which was a top sect, the other sects were basically all here. Those from the Danding sect were more interested in the spiritual herbs and were still investigating from afar. However, even if they came, they would not be able to help him. Now, he could only rely on himself and Black Mountain. Taking a deep breath, Lin Xian prepared to use the storage ring to awaken the Great Dragon Sword Soul. Black Mountain said, Use the Great Dragon Sword Soul to break the Sky Lantern. Leave these people to me. Black Mountain walked out, exuding a terrifying aura. Lin Xian was shocked. Can this work? Although this old guy was a supreme saint, his strength should not have fully recovered. You want to fight against all of us by yourself? Fairy Zillion sneered. The other Saint Kings were also disdainful. No matter how strong the opponent was, so what? Qilin was strong, but he was still defeated by them. Now, this black-robed man was no match for them either. Humph, I don't care about trash like you. Those great sages wouldn't come. So, I am not afraid of anything. Black Mountain snorted. Attack. Fairy Zillion waved her hand and rushed out. Dragon Elephant Finger. Her jade-like hand carried a terrifying power that could tear everything apart. The ancient lost art was terrifying. The other experts also attacked. Their terrifying aura made Lin Xian's blood boil. Lin Xian wanted to summon his beasts to block them, but he found that it was difficult to do so. There were simply too many experts. However, Black Mountain laughed. Today, I will show you my true strength. The black aura on his body quickly spread and turned into a black locust tree. It stood tall and had a terrifying aura. The tree trunk and leaves covered the sky and spread in all directions. Black leaves fell down and pierced through the sky. The surrounding people were shocked. What is this? Is it a beast? Humph, I don't care about a mere tree demon. The golden crow flame sneered and shot out golden crow flame that covered the sky. Behind him were the experts of the Golden Crow tribe. They were like suns that floated between heaven and earth. However, it was useless. Flames could suppress trees, but Black Mountain's tree was not an ordinary locust tree. The black leaves seemed to have turned into peerless swords that pierced through the flames and attacked the experts of the Golden Crow tribe. The golden crow flame was hit and quickly dodged. The others of the golden crow tribe behind him were not so lucky. The 5 golden crow experts were instantly pierced and their souls were destroyed. Damn it! The golden crow flame's eyes turned red. The others were also shocked. This guy is so strong? Wind blade. Fenghua and the others shot out thousands of wind blades, each of which was enough to kill a Saint King. The powerful storm made them confident that they could fight against a supreme saint. However, a tree trunk fell and the leaves on it blocked the storm. The tree trunk turned into a peerless spear and pierced through 7 Saint Kings. Blood dyed the sky. Their bodies were torn apart. Fenghua's face was pale as if she had gone crazy. What kind of power is this? Her opponent's strength had surpassed that of a Saint King. Buzz. The black tree trunk with the leaves attacked again. This time, it attacked the Holy Heavens tribe. The Holy Heavens tribe's Saint Kings roared. Everyone had a mysterious heavenly diagram that connected them and covered the sky. However, it was useless. After the black leaves fell, the heavenly diagram shattered, and the 3 experts of the Holy Heavens tribe turned into blood mist. 6 experts of the Holy Heavens tribe were injured and flew back while vomiting blood. Kill. Black Mountain roared, and a tree branch flew out and attacked the golden crow flame again. The golden crow flame's scalp went numb, and he quickly dodged. However, he did not dodge this attack. Fallen. Everyone was frightened and quickly retreated. Chapter 46-67. Golden Crow Flame was at the peak of the Saint King realm, but he couldn't even block one attack. This black locust tree was too terrifying. The other party was a supreme saint. They were terrified. Lin Xian was shocked. Wasn't he too powerful? Was this Black Mountain? A leaf could kill a Saint King. It was terrifying. The others retreated, not daring to step forward. The people of the Purple Mansion looked cold. They couldn't block it alone. Sure enough, when the black leaf fell, 4 of them had fallen. Even if they had the ancient inheritance, even if they were powerful, they would still die in front of the other party. One of Purple Lotus Fairy's arms was broken and turned into a bloody mist. She covered her wound and retreated quickly. Her face became extremely ferocious. Damn it, there was a supreme saint. Damn it, Golden Crow How and the others roared. Where was our supreme saint? Black Mountain said coldly. Your supreme saint had been banished to the starry sky when he entered. He couldn't come back in a short time. What? The surrounding people went crazy. Their supreme saint had disappeared long ago. Had he been teleported out? Damn it, they didn't know at all. Now that the supreme saint didn't come, who could fight against the other party? Black Mountain alone was enough to subdue the crowd. No one dared to step forward. He snorted, turned around and said, Kid, that's enough? Lin Xian nodded. He took a deep breath and released the Dragon Sword Soul. He took out 10 storage rings one by one. The power inside poured into them. Lin Xian used the Dragon Sword Soul with all his strength and attacked Ling Guoqiang. In front, the ancient bronze coffin emitted a terrifying aura to resist. The terrifying power exploded. The surrounding people were frightened and retreated quickly. They all retreated. There were even 2 Peak Saint Kings who were still hesitating. They were torn into blood in an instant. When the others saw this scene, they didn't dare to step forward anymore. Now that the great dragon sword spirit had obtained enough power, it was able to display a powerful might. Although the power released by the ancient bronze coffin was terrifying, it was still not enough. Although the ancient bronze coffin was terrifying, the dragon's sword soul could still split it open. Just like this, Lin Xian and Black Mountain walked forward. Finally, they came to the front. The aura of the dragon's sword soul poured into the sky lantern and shattered the terrifying power around it. The sky lantern shook. Black Mountain reached out and grabbed it. Boom! His body trembled as countless runes appeared on his body. Lin Xian was astonished as he realized that he was very familiar with these runes. They were the Tao of the Celestial Court. Sensing this aura, the sky lantern stopped swaying. He Shan's body stabilized, and his eyes shone with a piercingly cold light. He finally obtained it again. There was hope for the heavenly court to be restarted. When the people in the distance saw this, they were incomparably astonished. The faces of the Z government's people were extremely gloomy. Damn it, did they really get their hands on it? A look of determination appeared in Zilien's eyes. She said, I can't let him succeed. Our great sage might have been teleported away, but so what? Our Violet Mansion has more than one great sage. Summon the great sage. The person next to him said, No, we can summon them outside. But this is the space of the heavenly court. There are unique laws, different from outside. We can't summon them at all. Using that kind of divine ability, regardless of the cost. A trace of coldness appeared in Zilien's eyes. The people around him felt their scalps go numb. Was he going to use a forbidden technique? They said, Got it. 12 people walked out. Each of them cut their palms, and blood flowed out. Nearly half of their saint blood floated out and gathered in the air, forming a blood-red image. It emitted a terrifying aura. Zilien and the other 12 people formed hand seals and respectfully knelt on the ground. They respectfully called out, Ancestor. At the same time, in the Z government, a mysterious aura bloomed. One figure after another rose into the air. Someone was using a forbidden technique to summon from a distance. What was going on? I don't know. Let's go take a look. This power can only carry one great sage. I'll go. The great sage of the Z government walked out. He took a step and disappeared. The remaining people frowned. Someone said, It looks like there's a problem with the heavenly court's ruins. Hurry up and get ready. The people of the Z government moved quickly. In the mysterious space of the heavenly court's ruins. When the others saw this scene, they were incomparably shocked. What were those 12 people doing? Were they really going to summon a great sage? No, we'll summon them too. The other clans of the ancients also moved. They also had more than one great sage. Their palms formed hand seals. Some people cast terrifying divine abilities, while others took out formations to teleport through space. However, it was useless. The heavenly court's Tao suppressed everything. What was going on? They couldn't transmit it at all. How did they do it? They were really too shocked. An elder from the Light Clan said, This was a forbidden superpower, and the price to pay was extremely high. At least half of these 12 people's saint blood was gone. More importantly, each of them had lost at least 1,000 years of life. What? The others' scalps went numb when they heard this. The price was indeed high. They had to use their lives to carry it out. And there were 12 of them. If only one of them used it, they would definitely die. The heavenly court space was too terrifying. Everyone was shocked. Heishan in front was also preparing to light the sky lantern, so he didn't have time to pay attention to this. He said, Kid, give me your golden saint blood. Lin Xian cut his finger. The golden saint blood fell into the sky lantern, but it quickly disappeared. Heishan said, It's not enough. Lin Xian gritted his teeth and continued to drip blood. Almost 1/3 of the golden saint blood could be seen in the sky lantern. Heishan formed a hand seal and took out a treasure bottle. There was a terrifying aura inside it. It was a ball of flame. It was very small, but its power was extremely terrifying. He took out the flame and placed it on the sky lantern. The golden saint blood started to shine as its power. Countless mysterious Tao patterns appeared on the sky lantern. An even more terrifying and mysterious aura spread out. Was it really time for the sky lantern? In the distance, the people of the clan of the ancients were terrified. The 12 people of the purple mansion were pale. They were about to faint. At this moment, a figure gradually appeared in the blood-red pattern above them. Along with it was the aura of Grand Sage Zhe. He was about to be teleported over. Lin Xian and Heishan naturally felt it too, but they didn't have time to care. At this moment, the earth and sky lantern had not been completely lit. It was the most critical moment. Everyone was extremely nervous. At this moment, a flame lit up in the darkness. The sky lantern was lit. It was done. Heishan was overjoyed. Lin Xian was also shocked. Was this it? He felt that the sky lantern was emitting an extremely mysterious aura, but he didn't know what it was used for. At the same time, the figure of the great saint also descended from the distance, and as soon as he arrived, he shouted coldly, He shouted and slammed his palm forward. Below him, the 12 purple mansion Saint Kings immediately fainted. They had used up too much energy. The huge palm slammed into the sky with the power to destroy everything. It attacked the sky lantern. Chapter 46-68. The Purple Mansion Great Sage's cold voice rang out. Something that has already been destroyed has no need to live. Not good, Lin Xin exclaimed. He felt a great threat. With a wave of his hand, 2 willow branches flew out. These were given to him by the Shao family's guardian beast. They had already been broken by the Great Sage's attack. However, they still had some power. Lin Xian took them out. Black Mountain also shouted coldly. He grabbed the sky lantern with one hand and slapped it out at the same time. A deafening sound rang out. Lin Xian used the 2 willow branches to protect his body, blocking the attack. Countless cracks appeared on the 2 willow branches. It looked like he could only use them one last time. He took a deep breath, gritted his teeth, and looked forward. He saw a great sage in a purple robe. It was the Purple Mansion Great Sage he had seen before. Brat, you actually helped the tyrant and helped the Heavenly Court activate the Sky Lantern. You deserve to die. The Purple Mansion Great Sage looked at Lin Xian. His eyes were filled with killing intent. A terrifying power erupted. His gaze turned into a divine sword and shot towards Lin Xian. This was the power of a great sage. It was really terrifying. Lin Xian used the dragon sword soul to block. With a clang, the gaze collided with the dragon sword soul. Lin Xian's arm went numb. It was about to shatter. However, he still managed to block the gaze. The people in the distance were shocked. Damn it! How did he do it? He could actually block the attack of a great sage. The difference between a sage king and a great sage was only one word. However, the difference in power was like heaven and earth. A great sage's gaze could kill them instantly. However, Lin Xian was only at the initial stage of the Sage King realm. He could block the attack of a great sage. It was really heaven-defying. The great sage's expression also darkened. He stared at the dragon sword soul and released a sharp light. You actually have a supreme treasure on you. Is this what gives you the right to be arrogant in front of me? Lin Xian held the dragon sword soul and coldly snorted. You say I'm helping the tyrant? But in my opinion, you are the monsters. Stupid thing. The Purple Mansion Great Sage snorted and grabbed the dragon-shaped sword shadow. Such a supreme treasure was not worthy of an ant. Lin Xian roared angrily and slashed out with his sword, blocking the opponent's palm. At this moment, He Shan laughed coldly. You seem to have forgotten about me. With a wave of his robe, a terrifying energy burst forth. Countless black leaves pierced through the sky. The Purple Mansion Great Sage felt threatened and did not dare to be careless. He used his Purple Mansion Great Seal to fight back. Boom! An earth-shattering sound rang out as the aura of a great sage spread out in all directions. The flame of the sky lantern swayed from the wind, but it did not go out. After that strike, He Shan withdrew his palm. The Purple Mansion Great Sage's expression was also cold. Looks like you're also a great god. That's good. I'll kill you and destroy the Sky Lantern. He ignored Lin Xian and wanted to kill He Shan. In his opinion, Lin Xian was just an ant that he could kill at any time. Lin Xian's figure flashed as he quickly retreated. 2 great sages were exchanging blows, causing the heavens and the earth to shatter. Fortunately, whether it was the bronze coffin or the 9-headed true dragon, they were extremely terrifying. They were far from being destroyed by the power of a great sage. Lin Xian was pushed far away. The people from the other clan of the Ancients and the Peerless sects were also terrified. However, when they saw Lin Xian, their eyes turned red. This kid had obtained 2 spiritual herbs from tens of thousands of years ago. More importantly, the sword shadow in his hand. That was a supreme existence that could block the attack of a great sage. It was a heaven-defying treasure. If they could get it, they would not hesitate. They didn't think about it any further. Instead, they quickly acted. Beside Lin Xian, the void cracked, and a powerhouse of the Light Clan charged over. You're courting death. Lin Xian roared. Are you trying to kill me? He slashed out with his sword, and the powerhouse of the Light Clan dodged quickly. It's useless. You can't hit me. As soon as he finished speaking, the sword cut him in half, and his soul was instantly destroyed. At this moment, the power of the great dragon's sword soul still lingered. So, how could the Light Clan escape? Damn it! The eyes of the Light Clan members turned red. Light stepped forward and shouted coldly, "Kid, if you don't use your supreme treasure, do you dare to fight me fairly?" How dare he kill his people? He could not accept it. Lin Xian sneered. Do you have the right to say that? You can control the Light Clan, but can you control the others? A fair fight? Then all of you, get out of here. Jinwu Hao walked out and laughed. Light, you're too naive. Now is not the time to talk about fairness. Everyone, let's kill him and divide the treasures. I agree. Evil Spirit also walked over. Jinwu Hao and the people of the Phantom Sect watched covetously. The Wind Clan members were also tempted, but then Yi Wudao stepped forward and shouted coldly, "Whoever dares to attack will be my enemy. I'll fight him. What do you think? We didn't have a winner last time, so let's do it this time." Then radiance and light shot toward Leaf Dowdenier. At the same time, Jinwu Hao snorted. Everyone, attack. The people of the Golden Crow Clan, the Hidden Cloud Sect, and the other experts all charged over. There was nothing they could do about it. The might of the great dragon's sword soul was too terrifying. Furthermore, there were other secrets on Lin Xian's body that everyone wanted. Lin Xian's eyes were cold. You want to come? Fine, then let's fight. Golden light bloomed in his eyes. Dozens of demonic beasts flew out, including the Icefire Swan and the Blackwater Mystical Snake. The moment the Blackwater Mystical Snake appeared, it pierced through a person. The Icefire Swan attacked, and the terrifying power of ice and fire spread out. Those who rushed to the front were shocked. Damn it, this guy can control demonic beasts, and not just one. Everyone be careful. No matter, this time it's not just the younger generation, but also the older generation. The elder of the Holy Heaven clan held the Holy Heaven diagram and attacked the Icefire Swan. The people of the Hidden Cloud Sect attacked the Blackwater Mystical Snake. A great battle broke out in an instant. Lin Xian's demonic beasts were strong, but the other side had more people. For a moment, they were at a disadvantage, and they were forced to retreat. Lin Xian was also in danger. Buzz. He waved the dragon-shaped sword in his hand, and with a slash, the late-stage martial Honorable Saint King Elder was split apart. The Saint King's blood was dyed red, and his soul could not be healed. Everyone was terrified. Damn it, be careful of that sword. He's dead for sure. Everyone could see that every time Lin Xian used the dragon sword spirit, he had to rest for a period of time, so this gave them a chance to attack. A Saint King from the Light Clan attacked again. He was very fast, and came behind Lin Xian. This was a peak Saint King realm existence, and his strength was terrifying. Kid, without the sword shadow, can you still block it? The attack came down. Great, this kid is dead for sure. Everyone laughed. The void behind Lin Xian split open, and the three-eyed vermilion bird flew out, and monstrous flames rushed towards the Light Clan expert. The Light Clan expert's pupils shrank, and he quickly retreated. But he was too careless. Even with his extreme speed, half of his body was burned to ashes. He appeared in the distance, his face cold. Damn it, there's another demonic beast, and it's a peak Saint King realm demonic beast. The three-eyed vermilion bird spread its wings and shot out monstrous divine flames. Lin Xian jumped on the other party's back and looked down. Who dares to fight? Chapter 46-69. It's just a peak demonic beast. We have more than one peak Saint King on our side. The Golden Crow tribe's Saint King walked over again. Although the Golden Crow Raging Flame was killed, they still had peak experts on their side. The expert from the Light tribe walked over again. At the same time, the Serene Cloud sect also walked over. The three peak Saint Kings attacked the three-eyed vermilion bird together. No matter how strong the three-eyed vermilion bird was, it could not win. Behind them, Jinwu Hao sneered when he saw this. That kid is dead. The evil spirits were waiting for the right moment to strike. Once the other party fell, the rest of them would have to fight as well. Kid, let's see how you escape this time. The three-peaked Saint Kings sneered. Two of them suppressed the three-eyed vermilion bird. One of them charged towards Lin Xian. The Golden Crow tribe's expert charged towards Lin Xian with a dazzling light. Lin Xian was like a small boat in the wind, about to capsize at any time. But at this time, his lips curled into a smile. His eyes shone brightly again. Immediately after, another purple figure flew out from the Black Earth ship. It was a huge creature. The moment it appeared, it slapped the Golden Crow tribe's expert with its claws. The Golden Crow tribe's expert's body caved in and his bones shattered. He was sent flying while vomiting blood. Boom! He shattered the void and blood dyed the 9 heavens. The people in the distance were stunned. The smile on Jinwu Hao's face froze. He roared, "Damn it! How did this happen?" The others were also in an uproar. This kid still had a trump card. Even the two-peaked Saint Kings who were suppressing the vermilion bird were shocked. They sensed a terrifying threat. The two of them quickly retreated. In front, the Qilin walked out and roared. Its aura exploded. It was the purple Qilin. Many people had seen this demonic beast before. They remembered that they had fought it together and chased it away. Why would it appear here? And why would it help Lin Xian? Could it be that this guy was also a demonic beast that Lin Xian had subdued? Impossible. Was this kid the one who had set this up? Two peak demonic beasts, guardians, and other late Saint Kings. Lin Xian could sweep through them. If it weren't for the fact that the remote antiquity families had joined forces with Yi Futian's uncle, none of them would have been able to contend against Yi Futian. For a moment, these people's faces turned cold. At this moment, the Purple Mansion Grand Sage, who was battling Black Mountain, pointed out with his finger. The dragon elephant finger charged towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian was shocked. The space he was in instantly shattered. Was he dead? Everyone was looking forward to it. Boom! A pagoda appeared from the shattered void. It swayed as Lin Xian walked out from it with a cold expression. "Damn it! You still want to kill me?" He Shan sneered. "You're still in the mood to fight with me? Do you care about other things?" He used a secret technique to force the Purple Mansion Great Sage back. One of the Purple Mansion Grand Sage's arms turned into a bloody mist. His expression was ugly. He no longer dared to care about anything else and fought back with all his might. How could he not die? Everyone was shocked. Aside from the dragon-shaped sword shadow, there was also a pagoda that could stop a Great Sage. This was a Great Sage artifact. Everyone's eyes turned red again. Lin Xian sneered. "Purple Mansion, you deserve to die." He turned into a bolt of lightning and charged forward. At the same time, the vermilion bird and the fire Qilin accompanied him. The other demonic beasts obeyed his orders. Wherever he passed, everyone retreated. No one dared to fight back. Lin Xian came to the front. There were 12 figures. They were the 12 people from the Purple Mansion. They had used their lives to summon the Purple Mansion Grand Sage, but he had fainted. At this moment, some of them had already woken up, but they were still very weak. Zilian raised his head and saw Lin Xian's godlike figure. He was shocked. She gritted her teeth and said, "Do you dare to fight against the Purple Mansion?" Lin Xian said, "Not only will I fight against you, I'll send you to hell." With a slash of his sword, Zilian was cut in half. She didn't even have a chance to escape. The other people from the Purple Mansion shouted angrily, "Damn it! How dare you!" Lin Xian sneered and slashed again. One figure after another was cut in half. Why wouldn't I dare? He was like a god of death, quickly attacking the 12 Purple Mansion Grand Swordsmen. In the blink of an eye, 6 of them had fallen. The remaining 6 were running away. "Patriarch, save us!" they roared. The Purple Mansion Grand Sage's face turned pale when he saw this. He wanted to stop Lin Xian, but he couldn't. The black-robed man in front of him was terrifying. He was a tree demon, but his strength was too heaven-defying, especially the leaves, which could pierce through anything. He didn't dare to be careless in the slightest. Lin Xian sneered and attacked quickly. Under his command, The three-eyed vermilion bird tore one of the purple mansion grand swordsmen into pieces. The remaining people roared, "Kid, what kind of genius are you? Fight me one-on-one if you have the ability." Lin Xian sneered. "You want to fight me one-on-one? Earlier, your great sage tried to kill me by relying on his own strength. Now, I'll let you experience the feeling of being crushed." As he spoke, the Qilin roared and slapped another purple mansion grand swordsman to death. The remaining 4 purple mansion grand swordsmen were in despair. They looked around and said, "Stop him. We'll reward you handsomely." That's right. The purple mansion grand sage also roared, "My purple mansion grand swordsman will teach you a supreme technique." He was so angry that he was going crazy. Although he couldn't attack, the purple mansion grand swordsman had a strong foundation. They had once commanded many heroes, and now they were going to recreate their glory. Hearing this, the surrounding remote antiquity families were also tempted. Some of them prepared to attack, but it was useless. Everything was over. The great dragon sword soul unleashed its power again and slashed out, killing the remaining 4 purple mansion grand swordsmen. Those who were nearby were also sent flying, their faces full of fear. Dead. The 12 purple mansion grand swordsmen were all dead. Those from the remote antiquity world didn't have the chance to attack again. They were terrified. So many of them were killed by a young man. It was unbelievable. In the distance, the purple mansion grand sage was so angry that he vomited blood. Damn it! Were all his subordinates dead? His heart was bleeding. The purple mansion grand swordsmen were all top geniuses, and their future was limitless. Each of them could dominate a region. Now that they were all dead, how could he explain it? Just as he was panicking, Black Mountain pierced through his body, and the leaves shattered his expression. Damn it! He couldn't suppress him alone. Was he really going to return empty-handed today? Kill that kid. The purple mansion grand sage roared, "I'll reward you handsomely." After that, he ignored them and focused on dealing with Black Mountain. The members of the clan of the ancients looked solemn. They had thought the same before, but after Lin Xian had shown so many powerful trump cards, they all hesitated. Would they really be able to take him down? Normally, they would find it ridiculous. There were several peak Saint Kings here, and many late-stage Saint Kings. They could kill an early-stage Saint King with one look. But now, they couldn't do it. Even if they attacked with all their strength, they might not be able to take him down. Chapter 4670. Jinwu How gritted his teeth. "Everyone, let's attack. This kid has many trump cards, but he's only an early-stage Grand Sage. I don't believe that he has so much power to support these trump cards. He's already at the end of his rope. He can't use them anymore. As long as we seize the opportunity, we'll control the pagoda and he'll definitely die." Yes, that's right. Some people also stepped forward, their eyes shining. The others also took a deep breath. Let's go all out. This kid has many treasures. If they really killed him, they would have enough to split. Why? Do you still want to attack? Lin Xian snorted coldly. The purple Qilin and three-eyed vermilion bird under his feet roared. The Blackwater mystical snake and the Frostfire swan roared furiously. Although the two beasts were covered in blood and their bodies were broken, they were still injured. Their bodies were stained with blood, but they were still not afraid. Lin Xian was like a supreme divine king. His eyes emitted a piercing light. "I'll give you a big gift." He used the heavenly secret divine eye with all his strength. The 12 diagrams of heavenly secret erupted with the power of reincarnation. A golden eye appeared in the sky. It enveloped heaven and earth. These people weren't made of steel. They all had their own interests. Under the influence of Lin Xian's eye technique, their souls were also affected. Soon, some people's eyes turned red and they began to fight each other. The situation became uncontrollable. Damn it, it's a soul eye technique. Don't fall for it. Some peak experts and elders shouted angrily. Their eyes were red as they charged toward Lin Xian. Die! Lin Xian roared furiously and struck out with his sword again, killing 2 peak stage Saint Kings. The others retreated in shock, not daring to go forward. Lin Xian's face was also pale. The power in the 10 storage rings that Black Mountain gave him had all been used up. The dragon's sword soul dimmed and entered his body. That's great. Seeing this, many people were delighted. Some quickly rushed over. With a boom, Lin Xian was forced back. He used the Grand Sage Pagoda to block it. His face turned cold. Kid, no matter the price, I'll kill you today. 3 figures walked over with earth-shattering power. Boom. The 3 of them attacked Lin Xian aggressively. At this time, another large hand appeared in the sky and enveloped the 3 of them. No, damn it, what kind of power is this? Who was it? The 3 of them were terrified. These were 3 extremely terrifying elders. However, at that moment, they were turned into a mist of blood by a single palm strike. Lin Xian was also sent flying by this force. Luckily, he had the Grand Sage Tower, so his body didn't split apart. Lin Xian's face turned cold. That attack just now was definitely an attack from a Great Sage. Who was it? The Purple Mansion Great Sage? He turned his head and saw that the Purple Mansion Great Sage was also shocked. Heishan retreated and did not attack again. However, his expression turned cold. The others were the same. The golden eye in the sky disappeared, and everyone no longer felt the threat to their souls. Their scalps went numb. Had another great sage arrived? Which clan was he from? A low and deep laughter rang out, causing one's hair to stand on end. A figure walked over. Unexpectedly, even the legendary Sky Lantern of the Heavenly Court was here. Hand over the Sky Lantern, and I'll spare your life. Everyone was terrified. It was indeed a great sage. Lin Xian was shocked. He was here for the Sky Lantern. Heishan snorted. You? That's right, me. That person walked over. Everyone saw that it was an old man. His face was old, and his hair fell to the ground like a waterfall. There were even bones on some parts of his body. This person didn't have much time left. If I get the Sky Lantern, I can get the inheritance of the Heavenly Court. Maybe I can live for a few more 1,000 years. So, I won't give up. Humph. The Purple Mansion Great Sage's face turned cold. However, he quickly smiled and said, Don't worry, fellow cultivator. I'll help you. Compared to the person in front of him, Heishan was more terrifying because the other party might have some kind of relationship with the Heavenly Court. The person in front of him only wanted the treasure, so he decided to work together to kill Heishan first. Then, he would deal with the person in front of him. Very well, the newly arrived old man said with a cold laugh. He also knew that Heishan was very powerful, so he was prepared to work together. The 2 great sages walked up. The sky shook and the earth shook. Heishan's situation instantly became very dangerous. Lin Xian's face turned pale. Damn it, 2 great sages. What should I do? Heishan roared. You think 2 great sages can suppress me? If I was at my peak, you wouldn't be able to fight me with one hand. Not even now. I'll show you the true power of the Sky Lantern. The true power of the Sky Lantern? The surrounding people were also shocked. Wasn't it just a symbol of status? In their opinion, Heishan didn't use the Sky Lantern when he fought with the Purple Mansion Great Sage, so they thought that the Sky Lantern was not very powerful. Now, it seemed that was not the case. Lin Xian also frowned. The Great Sage Pagoda on his body floated up and down, ready to enter at any time. Attack. The Purple Mansion Great Sage seemed to have thought of something. His expression changed, and he quickly attacked. Dragon Elephant Finger. He pointed with his finger, and it was extremely terrifying. At the same time, his other hand used the Great Desolate Heaven-Splitting Hand. 2 powerful techniques suppressed heaven and earth. The other great sage was also extremely terrifying. His body was old, but the power in his body was indeed terrifying. He punched out, and the dazzling light was like the fist of a god, shining brightly. The 2 great sages attacked with all their strength, and the ground shook. The void kept shattering. Run! The people in the distance frantically retreated. Some of the closer ones who didn't manage to escape in time were immediately sent flying and turned into a bloody mist. The other clan of the ancients and the peerless sects didn't dare to move forward at all. It was too terrifying. The 3 great sages destroyed everything. Lin Xian was also shocked. He entered the Great Sage Pagoda. The Great Sage Pagoda also shook. The Great Sage Pagoda was extremely terrifying, but these people were great sages. Therefore, the Great Sage Pagoda could no longer completely protect him. Fortunately, Lin Xian's body was also strong. He blocked most of the attacks, and the rest were blocked by Lin Xian's divine body. But he knew that this wasn't the way to go. Facing the two figures who were like gods of war, He Shan was fearless. He activated the sky lantern in his hand. The great Tao on it intertwined, and then suddenly exploded. The golden sage blood in the sky lantern burned rapidly. A terrifying aura spread out. The divine fire flew out and floated forward. The dragon elephant finger and the great desolate heaven splitting hand melted quickly under the divine fire. Was it that powerful? Lin Xian was shocked, and the two great sages' expressions changed drastically. Oh no, they quickly retreated. The Purple Mansion Great Sage created a barrier of light that cut off the sky. The other great sage's hair turned into a waterfall and swept out like a black dragon, dancing between heaven and earth. But soon, it ignited. He couldn't block it at all. Half of his body was burned by the divine fire, and he roared crazily. Fellow Taoist, block it. I don't believe that he can use it endlessly. The Purple Mansion Great Sage shouted coldly. It seemed that he was using an extremely powerful divine skill. Chapter 4671. Although the sky lantern was powerful, it required a lot of energy. Currently, it only had some golden sacred blood left. After that, it would run out of energy. The sky lantern would also be extinguished. Black Mountain snorted coldly. Then I'll turn you into lamp oil. He transformed into his true form. Countless branches shot toward the withered old man, wrapped around him, and pulled him into the sky lantern. The old man roared crazily and tried to resist. However, as soon as he got close to the sky lantern, all of his power seemed to be ignited. His entire body was enveloped by a ball of divine fire. Fellow cultivator, stop. I don't want the sky lantern anymore. I won't attack you anymore. Please let me go. It's not easy for me to cultivate. It's not easy to cultivate? How dare you plot against me? Repent in your next life. Black Mountain was unmoved. He exerted more force and completely ignited the old man. The old man's body melted and turned into blood that swayed between heaven and earth. Finally, he entered the sky lantern. The sky lantern's fire suddenly erupted. Its power was 10 times stronger than before. After all, it was the blood of a supreme sage. It was much more powerful than Lin Xian's. Next, I'll deal with you. He looked at the Purple Mansion Great Sage. The Purple Mansion Great Sage's scalp went numb. He felt that his life was in danger. The sky lantern was like a divine artifact. He could not resist it at all. Of course, he also knew that it was impossible for him to escape. He had heard some legends about the sky lantern before. Now, his only chance was to block this attack. Then, he would have a chance to escape. Thinking of that, endless lightning bloomed from his body. Every move he made carried an aura of supremacy. As a supreme sage, he was not to be trifled with. Secret skill of burning blood. Overlord fist of heaven and earth. The sacred blood in his body quickly burned. He roared angrily, and it was as if a god had descended to the world. He was extremely powerful. He pushed out a palm, causing everyone to panic. Lin Xian quickly retreated with the supreme sage. He knew that he was going to risk his life. Black Mountain held the sky lantern in his hand and quickly formed a hand seal. The sky lantern shone brightly, and divine fire floated out again. An earth-shattering sound rang out, and a destructive aura swept across the 9 heavens and 10 lands. At that moment, even the ancient bronze coffin shook violently. Not good. Retreat. The people from the remote antiquity clans and great powers were running away as fast as they could. The people of the Light Clan were the first to escape. They came out of the desert. Then, he continued to flee. Then, the Wind Clan and the Golden Crow Clan fled one after another. However, half of the people remained in the desert forever, killed by the destructive power. Damn it! Those people's hearts were dripping blood. Just by watching the battle, their losses were already so great. However, they didn't dare to say anything. Lin Xian also felt the violent impact, and many cracks appeared on his body. Damn it! Even the Grand Sage Tower was unable to completely block it? What kind of secret technique did the other party use? The foundation of the Violet Palace realm was too deep. At this moment, he heard Black Mountain's voice transmission. Brat, quickly hide inside. I'll give you a good fortune. Whether or not you can get it depends on you. Even if you can't get it, you can still keep your life. As he spoke, Lin Xian felt Black Mountain grab the Great Sage Pagoda and fly him quickly. The next moment, he saw the ancient bronze coffin being opened, and then Black Mountain threw him inside. Boom! The ancient bronze coffin closed once again. Lin Xian felt that his surroundings had become incomparably quiet, and all the power had disappeared. What was going on? He was stunned. Did Black Mountain open the ancient bronze coffin? What was it that gave him a good fortune? Was there something good in the ancient bronze coffin? Thinking of this, he walked out of the Great Sage Pagoda and looked around. The inside of the ancient bronze coffin was very dark. Lin Xian's body burned with the 9-yang divine fire, shining in all directions like the sun. The ancient bronze coffin wasn't big. It was just a place for burial, so Lin Xian couldn't walk around freely. After he came out, he could only stay in a strange position. Moreover, he didn't find any corpses. There was nothing buried here. What was that? Suddenly, he found something in a corner of the ancient bronze coffin. He reached out his hand. It lit up the front. Finally, he saw that it was a jar, a black jar. This jar didn't have a lid and was incomparably black. There was a strange pattern drawn on it that made one's hair stand on end. What was this? A sacred artifact? A good fortune had to be at least at the level of a great sage artifact. And from the looks of it, it might be an offensive weapon. Lin Xian was overjoyed. However, at this moment, the black jar floated up and arrived in front of Lin Xian. Lin Xian was curious and grabbed it with his hand. The moment he grabbed it, he regretted it. Suddenly, the black jar emitted an extremely terrifying devouring power that devoured his entire body. No! Lin Xian roared and fully activated the 9-yang divine body. His fist landed on it, producing an earth-shattering sound. However, with his physique, he couldn't shake it at all. The jar didn't move at all. Buzz! Lin Xian felt his soul float out. He saw his body fall down and be buried in the ancient bronze coffin, and he was sucked into the pitch-black jar. Damn it, what was going on? Did this guy suck away his soul? Was he going to die? This was an unprecedented experience. Now, he only had a soul. He didn't have a body, the Great Dragon Sword, or the Great Sage Pagoda. All of his trump cards were gone. He only had his soul. The pitch-black devil jar was so terrifying. Lin Xian felt that he had entered a mysterious vortex. His soul was constantly being crushed, as if it was about to dissipate. Was this a good fortune? Lin Xian didn't know. But soon, he regained his fighting spirit. Even if there was nothing, so what? Along the way, other than these trump cards, his own strength couldn't be underestimated. I want to see just how mysterious this broken jar of yours really is. Lin Xian's soul bloomed with light as he resisted. The surrounding darkness seemed to have turned into a millstone, constantly crushing his soul. Every time, Lin Xian felt his soul shatter. However, in this mysterious jar, even if his soul shattered, it could heal again. This pain made Lin Xian hover between life and death. Fortunately, his willpower was strong enough to withstand it. However, this was like a reincarnation cycle. His soul shattered, healed, and shattered again. He didn't know how long had passed. He even forgot that he only had one belief, and that was perseverance. Outside, Black Mountain sent Lin Xian into the ancient bronze coffin, then continued to activate the Sky Lantern. A great battle broke out. Although the secret skill of the Purple Mansion Saint was very terrifying, it couldn't withstand the Sky Lantern. In the end, the divine flame of the 1,000 Lantern burned everything and enveloped the Purple Mansion Saint. The Purple Mansion Great Sage let out a miserable shriek as he, too, was transformed into oil. The two great sages turned into oil, and the surrounding space shattered. Only the ancient bronze coffin and the 9 dragons were intact. Chapter 4672. The divine flame on the sky lantern returned to normal. Black Mountain looked at the bronze coffin below and sighed. He had already gotten what he wanted. As for the creation, it was up to him. He knew that there was something inside, but it would not be easy to get it. Black Mountain came back to his senses and looked around. Then, he placed the sky lantern in front of him again. He kept forming hand seals and set up an array formation. The flames on the sky lantern scattered throughout the entire space as if it was carrying out some ancient ritual. At this moment, the array formation was imprinted on the sword of heaven and earth. A divine flame appeared in the eyes of the true dragons in front. Boom! Their ice-cold bodies began to move. Boom! 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 9 true dragons soared into the sky, shattering the void. The chains on the 10 true dragons made earth-shattering sounds. The bronze coffin was pulled up and flew into the sky. They had set off. Black Mountain put away the sky lantern. Looking at this scene, he quickly retreated. From this moment on, the heavenly court was reactivated. Outside, in the vast desert, the people of the clan of the ancients and the peerless sects were shocked. What was the situation inside? They could not sense it. After all, it was an independent spatial world. That guy should not be able to hold on. Who knew? However, Lin Xian did not come out. He might have died in the battle between the sages. Unfortunately, he was full of treasures. Some people sneered. It doesn't matter. We'll go in after those great sages leave. They all wandered around the desert and did not leave. Suddenly, the desert in front of them shook. Everyone soared into the sky in fear again. What happened this time? Look, the desert split open. What was that? It came out. Countless people were stunned. 9 true dragons soared into the sky, tore open the void, and rampaged between heaven and earth. Behind them was a huge bronze coffin. Was it alive? These people were dumbfounded. They could not help but want to kneel down and worship it. They had sensed that those true dragons did not have any aura. Now that they could fly, could it be that they were still alive? They did not dare to imagine what was buried in the bronze coffin. The bronze coffin flew in the sky. When the sun shone on it, everyone was stunned. At that moment, they seemed to have seen the scene inside the bronze coffin. There was a figure inside. However, they could not believe that figure. It was that brat. Isn't that Lin Xian? Why was he in there? In the next moment, they couldn't see it anymore. However, that scene was forever imprinted in their minds. Damn it, what happened after they left? Why did those dragons come to life? Where were the 3 great sages? Was he dead? Where are the sky lanterns? Was Lin Xian dead? This was the question on everyone's mind. Even if he didn't die, they probably wouldn't be able to get the treasures on him. Most likely, no one knew the truth of the matter. Perhaps only the great sages knew the truth. However, the great sages were nowhere to be seen. The 9-headed true dragon had already disappeared from the world. No one knew where they had gone. At the same time, they realized that the entire heavenly court ruins had changed. It quickly sank into the ground and disappeared. These people rose into the air and looked at the heavenly court that had already disappeared. They were incomparably shocked. This matter was really too mysterious. True dragons were incomparably mysterious. Lin Xian was buried in the bronze coffin. In addition, the sky lantern was reignited. It indicated that the heavenly court had reopened. Each of these things was earth-shattering. No, they had to hurry back and inform their families. These people quickly returned. They had to mobilize all their forces to search for the treasures. They had to find the treasures. Everyone moved quickly. Not long after, the clan of the ancients and the great sects learned about it and sent people to investigate. The people of the Purple Mansion were the fastest. When the Purple Mansion Great Sage was teleported, they had already begun to set up things here. Therefore, they also saw the 9-headed true dragon. However, no one dared to go forward. The scene was too shocking. After the 9-headed true dragon and the bronze coffin disappeared, they moved quickly. First, they went to the heavenly court ruins to investigate, but there was nothing there. Damn it, what was going on? Where was the Purple Mansion Great Sage? They waited for many days, but the Purple Mansion Great Sage didn't return. Until recently, the Great Sages who were teleported away returned one after another, but there was no sign of the Purple Mansion Great Sage. The Great Sages from before had been teleported away. When they returned and learned the truth, they all roared at the sky. Damn it, they had been tricked. They had lost a great opportunity. If they hadn't been teleported away, there would have been 7 Great Sages. If they had joined forces, they would have definitely been able to open the Bronze Trial and obtain the Sky Lantern. They might even have been able to obtain the Heavenly Court's inheritance. However, it was too late now. Search for it. Taiching Ancient City had been thoroughly explored. However, there was no news at all. Lin Xian was nowhere to be found, and the black-robed man was nowhere to be found. Where did the Sky Lantern go? No one knew. Everything was a mystery. Time passed quickly. Taiching Ancient City had undergone earth-shattering changes, especially the top prodigies from before. They had entered the Heavenly Court ruins and obtained some fortunes. Their rapid cultivation had allowed them to break through and increase their strength greatly. It could be said that it was comparable to hundreds or thousands of years of cultivation. Among them, Feng Huang, Jin Wu Hao, Evil Spirit, and the others had all broken through from early-stage Great Sage King. They had broken through to mid-stage Great Sage King. Light and Yi Wudao had not broken through. However, they had reached the peak of early-stage Great Sage King. Both of them had the primordial body, and the power they needed was even more terrifying. Although they hadn't broken through, their strength had undergone an earth-shattering change. They weren't inferior to Jin Wu Hao, Evil Spirit, and the others. In fact, they were even stronger. In addition to these top prodigies breaking through, a new batch of prodigies had also appeared in the other primordial families and great sections. After all, each of the primordial families and great sects had obtained some fortunes. Some had even obtained spiritual herbs from tens of thousands of years ago and used them to refine pills, which could create a batch of prodigies. These people had fought with each other. Yi Wudao sighed, wondering how Lin Xian was doing. Hearing this name, the others turned solemn. There were also some who sneered. A dead person should have been buried in the starry sky long ago. There was no need to talk about it. That's right, only prodigies who were alive had a future. Dead. Nothing at all. Was Lin Xian really dead? Qin Xianer was also in a daze on a mountain in the Purple Mansion. She had secretly investigated after receiving the news, but she didn't find anything about Lin Xian. It was as if he had really been hidden in the ancient bronze coffin and disappeared. To be honest, she couldn't believe it. Lin Xian was such a top prodigy. He had suppressed Jin Wu Hao, Evil Spirit, and the others. He had the potential to become a great emperor in the future. But now, he had fallen. It was hard to imagine. Chapter 46-73. Mount Eternal. This was a forbidden land of death. No one dared to come here. Even a saint would turn into a pile of bones here. There were many ancient cities around Mount Eternal, as well as some great sects and families. They were very powerful. At this moment, a huge city was very lively. Today was the 7,000th birthday of a Grand Elder of the Palace of Immortals, which attracted countless people. The Palace of Immortals had a very ancient heritage, and it was also a great sect. They were all Grand Elders' birthdays, so naturally, the people they invited were all very terrifying. Among them were many great sects, and even some powerhouses from top families. These people gathered together, and it was very lively. However, at this moment, the sky darkened. There was an extremely terrifying force pressing down on them. Everyone felt terrified. Some saint kings rose into the air, their faces full of shock. What was going on? Even the great saint's eyes shone with divine light, piercing through heaven and earth. The 7,000-year-old Grand Elder of the Palace of Immortals shouted angrily, "Come down, there's a peerless enemy." He felt a fatal threat. Indeed, the great saints' faces were extremely ugly. At this moment, everyone descended from the sky, looked up at the sky, and waited quietly. In the sky, a huge creature flew past. The people below saw it clearly. They were extremely shocked. There were 9 huge dragons in the sky, each of them 1,000 meters long, with cold scales. Under the illumination of the sun, they bloomed with brilliance. They painted a peerless divine light that pierced through the 9 heavens and 10 lands. 9 true dragons. Were the powerhouses of the dragon clan here? The people below were shocked. Even the great saints were facing a great enemy. The dragon clan was extremely mysterious. If they were really 9 top-notch experts of the dragon clan, perhaps something earth-shattering had happened. However, the Grand Elder of the Palace of Immortals frowned. Cold sweat flowed down his face. What was going on? The 9 true dragons had a terrifying aura. However, he didn't seem to feel the existence of chi, blood, and souls. The 9 true dragons were all dead. What kind of power was that? It was supporting their flight. What was even more shocking was yet to come. They found that the 9 true dragons were all chained. And on the other end of the chain, it was an ancient bronze coffin with mysterious Tao patterns carved on it. The aura of the ancient coffin was even more terrifying. Just a single glance at it would cause one's soul to tremble in fear. What sort of existence was buried in that ancient coffin? The Grand Elder of the Temple of Immortals almost fell to his knees. Could it be that this was the legendary phenomenon of heaven and earth? The people from the other great sects were also shocked. Some of the older generation experts sucked in cold breaths. There were records of this in their ancient books. The 9 true dragons pulled the bronze coffin across the sky. Countless people prostrated themselves in worship. It was said that an immortal was buried inside. At that time, they thought it was just a legend and didn't pay much attention to it. And now, such a scene had actually appeared before their eyes. Hearing the words of these older generation figures, the other people directly knelt down and began to worship. An immortal had descended from the heavens. Someone muttered softly, "Even if there were, they were all dead. Weren't they all buried?" "Shut up." A middle-aged man turned around and slapped the man's face. "Do you want to die? How dare you disrespect an immortal?" The young man was so scared that his scalp went numb. He immediately knelt on the ground. "Elder, please calm down. I won't dare to do it again." Everyone was paying attention. No one dared to be presumptuous. They watched quietly as the 9 true dragons and the bronze coffin streaked across the sky. Then, they flew towards a distant corner. Was he about to land? He was nearby. Countless people were shocked. Could it be that an immortal opportunity was about to descend in their area? These people were all excited. If they could obtain it, wouldn't they be able to ascend to the immortal realm? Let's go and take a look. These people soared into the sky, their eyes red. The young geniuses were very fast, but they were soon left behind. The experts of the older generation and even the supreme elders were mobilized. A few great sages were the fastest. They tore through the void and flew over quickly. The others followed closely behind. This was supposed to be a birthday banquet, but now they couldn't care less. They had to see where the 9 true dragons and the ancient bronze coffin had landed. That was great. Everyone saw that the 9 true dragons were descending. If they landed, they would be able to obtain the inheritance in the ancient coffin. Those people went crazy. The 5 great sages were extremely fast. They passed through everything and forgot everything. There was only the ancient bronze coffin in their eyes. Suddenly, those great sages roared. "No!" The Grand Elder of the Immortal Hall looked terrified and quickly retreated. The others also fled crazily, as if they had encountered the most terrifying thing. What was going on? What happened? The people behind were stunned. In the next moment, they saw something terrifying. A great sage was covered in uncomfortable flames, but at this moment, his flames were quickly moving in front of him. His powerful body withered and finally turned into a pile of white bones and fell from the sky. Grand Elder. The Grand Elder of the Fire God Temple knelt down and cried. That was their great sage. Had he fallen just like that? Everyone couldn't believe it. After the other 4 great sages returned, they retreated. In front of them was Mount Eternal. What? It was actually Mount Eternal? Countless people were terrified and quickly retreated. They had known the terror of Mount Eternal since they were young. It was a forbidden land of death that no one could enter. Especially now, a great sage had fallen in an instant. Everyone knew that. Even a great sage couldn't enter this forbidden land of death. Damn it, they had entered Mount Eternal. Those great sage elders looked at the ancient bronze coffin as it fell into Mount Eternal. Their faces became extremely ugly. Originally, they had great hopes of getting the immortal opportunity, but now it seemed impossible. No one could enter. These people's mood fell from the sky to hell. Originally, it was a blessing that they could get close to the immortal opportunity. But now, it seemed that their luck was still a little worse. The opportunity was right in front of them, but they couldn't get any closer. Behind them, among the younger generation, a figure stood there with his hands behind his back. Looking at this scene, his eyes flickered. His figure was very strange, as if he had merged with the void. There was actually an immortal opportunity. Gu Feng looked at this scene and frowned. He looked at the surrounding elders and said, "Hurry up and inform the family." The elders nodded. They had already secretly used a formation to send back the news of what had happened here. Beside Gu Feng, there was a figure wearing a battle suit and was incomparably handsome. He looked to the side and said, "Brother Gu Feng, I wonder if we can discuss something." "Brother Su Lai, what's the matter?" "Say it," Gu Feng said with a smile. Su Lai walked out, looked in all directions and said, "Everyone." Hearing this, everyone turned their heads around. Su Lai was the #1 genius of the Palace of Immortals. His strength was very terrifying. He was the future palace master of the Palace of Immortals. Now that he stood out, what was he going to do? Chapter 4674. Even the elders and grand elders of the Palace of Immortals were puzzled. Although Mount Eternal was terrifying, the immortal opportunity was hard to come by even in tens of thousands of years. "We can't miss it," someone said coldly. "Young man, do you know how dangerous Mount Eternal is? A great saint in front of us had died." Yes, although the immortal opportunity was good, one had to be alive to take it. These people shook their heads. "Of course, we can't do it. But what if we use an extreme weapon?" Everyone was surprised when they heard this. Some elders gasped. The Grand Elder of the Palace of Immortals' eyes lit up. His eyes lit up. He smiled and walked over with large strides, looking at Gu Feng, Gu Gengzi. "Can we join forces and use an extreme weapon? Let's go in together and obtain the immortal opportunity." The others also came back to their senses. Yes, they were here to celebrate the birthday. In addition to these great sects and families, there was another family that was very special. That was the Huanggu family. It was an emperor family, the Gu family. This was a family that had a great emperor. In the family, there was an extreme weapon, the Void Mirror. If they used the Void Mirror, they could display the extreme power. Even if Mount Eternal was powerful, it probably couldn't hurt the extreme weapon. They might really be able to obtain the immortal opportunity. The elders of the Gu family changed their expressions. They had just sent the news, and these people were already thinking about it. Gu Feng frowned slightly and glanced at Su Lai. This person seemed to be too meticulous. He actually thought of such a thing. It would be difficult for him to refuse now. After all, dozens of families and sects around him were staring at him. Especially the 4 great saints. Their eyes were burning. If he refused, these great saints would instantly change their faces. Taking a deep breath, Gu Feng said, "Normally, extreme weapons only had the effect of intimidating others. If one wanted to use an extreme weapon, it would consume too much energy. This was not a problem." The Grand Elder of the Palace of Immortals waved his hand. "How many resources do you need? We'll take them out together." That's right. The Fire God Palace also stepped forward. His eyes were red. Their great saint had fallen, and they had to gain something. Otherwise, their losses would be too heavy. The other experts also expressed that they were willing to provide resources together. They would open the Void Mirror together to see the immortal opportunity. What? Could it be that young Master Gu Feng was unwilling? Or could it be that the Gu clan wanted to secretly use the Void Mirror to monopolize the celestial opportunity? Someone said coldly. The expressions of the Gu family members changed, and Gu Feng's eyes flickered. Who were they? She dared to sow discord. However, this voice was incomparably ethereal. No one knew who it was. The other people's eyes darkened, with a trace of coldness. The expressions of the Gu clan's people turned ugly as they secretly transmitted messages to each other. It seemed that it was impossible for them to monopolize it. Gu Feng also gritted his teeth. Then, he transmitted his voice. Forget it. Let's join forces. In any case, the imperial weapon belongs to our clan. Even if we do have the immortal fate in the end, we will still be able to use it. We also have an absolute advantage. That was indeed the case. If they had it, then they had it. They had absolute control. In fact, this is what I wanted to say, but Brother Su Lai said it in advance. Gu Feng smiled. We do indeed have such thoughts. Everyone can work together to open up the immortal opportunity. Really? That's great. The surrounding experts all laughed. The four great sages were incredibly excited, especially the prime elder of the Hall of Immortality. He was already very old. To be honest, his lifespan was already less than 200 years. He might even have less than 100 years left. He would die soon. So no matter what, he had to get the final opportunity. That was indeed the case. Only the secret technique of the Hall of Immortality could allow him to live for so long. Other great sages would not be able to live for so long, unless they had heaven-defying spiritual herbs. Even so, no one could escape the reincarnation of the heavenly Tao, unless they could become immortals. Everyone, let's return to the Hall of Immortality and make a good plan. The prime elder of the Hall of Immortality suggested. The others nodded. All right. They went back again, but this time, it was not for the birthday banquet. It was for the immortal opportunity. After returning, these people began to take action. The various sects took out a lot of resources. Let's gather together. Then, they returned to the Gu clan together to activate the Void Mirror. As a great emperor clan, the Gu clan had produced a great emperor. The Void Great Emperor cultivated spatial magic, which was extremely terrifying. On this day, the people of the Gu clan were also extremely solemn. Were they finally going to use the extreme weapon? And it was not a passive defense. They were going to use the extreme weapon to attack with force. 3 great sages of the Gu clan walked out as the hosts. Around them stood the great sages of the other clans. Furthermore, the resources that they had brought with them were all placed in the formation. The array flickered with light, and a terrifying aura spread out. At this moment, everyone felt their scalps go numb. Even the great sages were shocked. A mirror rose into the air, flickering in the sky. In front of this mirror, everyone felt insignificant, as if they were ants. Was this the Void Mirror? The great sages and prime elders of the Hall of Immortality and the Fire God Palace were shocked. It was too powerful. This was the foundation of a great emperor clan. The awakening of the extreme weapon had the power of extreme Tao, which was equivalent to the power of a great emperor. This power should be enough. A great sage of the Gu clan said, if the power continued to increase, they might not be able to control it. All right, then let's get ready to go to Mount Eternal. Everyone rose into the air. Many people had already gathered at Mount Eternal. They were all from the great sects and the clan of the ancients. These were the elders in the younger generation. They were all gathered here. It's here, someone said. Countless people looked up and saw a terrifying light in the sky. Everyone bowed down in worship. This was the aura of extreme Tao. It was extremely powerful. They couldn't bear it. Fortunately, this aura wasn't targeted at them. The people of the Gu clan came to the sky and took a deep breath. They activated the Void Mirror and lowered an aura. With a crack, the sky fell and the earth cracked. Everyone knelt on the ground. As for Mount Eternal in front of him, a crack was torn in the void. Everyone was shocked. It was too terrifying. This was the power of an extreme weapon. A great sage would be turned into a skeleton in an instant. There was no way for him to escape. But now, in front of an extreme weapon, he seemed to be unable to resist. This was great. The great sages of the other sects beside the Gu clan were overjoyed. The prime elder of the Hall of Immortality was wearing the Immortality battle armor. This time, he went in with boundless hope. He had even donned the longevity armor, a legendary sacred artifact. On the other side, a prime elder of the Fire God Palace was wearing a cloak. It was also the immortality battle armor, the Fire God Cloak. The group of people set off in a mighty manner. The void mirror in front of them tore open the void. Everyone walked in. Their hearts were extremely nervous. After entering Mount Eternal, they felt an extremely terrifying aura coming towards them. It was as if it was going to take their lives. Chapter 4675. Fortunately, the void mirror was fixed in the void. It unleashed its extreme danger and blocked the attack. That was great. Everyone heaved a sigh of relief. In addition to these great gods, there were also a few peak elders. They all had the hope of becoming great saints. There were also some young geniuses who also had the hope of becoming great saints. Therefore, these people were also brought in. Among them was Su Lai of the Palace of Immortals, Gu Feng of the Gu family, Hua Linger of the Fire God Palace, and a few other geniuses. There were about a dozen of them. As for the other elders and young disciples, they stayed outside Mount Eternal. Countless light screens appeared in front of them. It was a shield of light formed by spell formations, and all of the great sages had spell formations attached to them. They were able to deduce what they were seeing. This way, those outside could see the scene inside without going in. It could be said that this was a very precious experience. These people stared at the light screens in front of them without blinking. After entering Mount Eternal, everyone was very careful. Although they had the protection of extreme Dao weapons, they still did not dare to be careless. This was because they discovered that there were many terrifying Dao patterns in Mount Eternal. These great Daos were much more terrifying than what they, the great saints, had mastered. They might even have been left behind by the great emperors. Perhaps this was the reason why it was a forbidden land of death. In front, the great saint of the Gu family, Gu Fei, said coldly. Fortunately, the place where the bronze coffin landed was not too far away. If it was in the depths of Mount Eternal, I'm afraid that we might not be able to enter even with emperor weapons. Indeed, they could already see the figure of the nine-headed true dragon now. It would not take long for them to arrive. Finally, they came to the front and saw the nine-headed true dragon. And the terrifying bronze coffin. Their eyes flickered. Another great saint of the Gu family waved his hand and struck out a spatial magic. It formed a spatial rift and enveloped the true dragon. They could naturally see that the nine-headed true dragon was extremely mysterious. Obviously, its entire body was a treasure. If they could take it away, it would be an endless treasure. The rift could devour everything. However, it lost its effect on the nine-headed true dragon. The rift struck the true dragon's body and directly shattered. The surrounding void turned into chaos. How could this be? The Gu clan's great sage frowned. Gu Fei said in a low voice, "Don't be too greedy. Let's start with a true dragon." With their strength, it was impossible for them to take everything away. With that, the great sage nodded and focused on attacking a true dragon. In addition, the other great saints of the Longevity Hall and the Fire God Palace also made their moves. There were 9 of them here, which was more than enough for everyone. However, they soon despaired. No matter what divine abilities or great Dao they used, it was impossible to shake it in the slightest. The Supreme Elder of the Eternal Life Hall looked into the sky and grabbed the true dragon's body, intending to take it away. However, he found that he didn't move at all. It was as if the power of a true dragon had surpassed his limits. Cracks had appeared on his palm. Helpless, he could only let go. The others also retracted their divine power laws, their expressions turning ugly. Even if they came here, there was nothing they could do. From the looks of it, he would have to use an extreme weapon. The elder from the Longevity Hall looked up ahead. Gu Fei formed a seal with his palms, and the void mirror hung down. His aura turned into chains and wrapped around a true dragon. An extremely terrifying aura suddenly erupted from the true dragon's body and spread to the surroundings. At the same time, Mount Eternal released an indestructible force and charged over. The void mirror shook, and a terrifying aura spread. The surrounding great saints felt their hair stand on end. Damn it, what's going on? Give me your power. Gu Fei's expression changed drastically. This force was too terrifying, and the surrounding people didn't dare to be careless. They attacked with all their might. They gave all their power to the void mirror. The void mirror bloomed with radiance and an extreme aura. The terrifying mirror swept through everything. Only then did it block the indestructible path. The great saint of the Fire God Palace said, "Don't think about the true dragon. Just attack the ancient coffin with all your might." If they open the ancient coffin, there must be something incredible inside. It might be an immortal. These people's eyes flickered, and they moved away from the true dragon and landed on the ancient bronze coffin. Gu Fei said, "Okay." In the next moment, everyone attacked together. The void mirror bloomed with radiance and extreme power. They attacked the ancient bronze coffin. With a clang, the 9 heavens and 10 lands shattered. The people outside Mount Eternal all prostrated on the ground. What kind of scene was that? It was as if the god of thunder had descended. Mount Eternal had also undergone some changes as a terrifying aura emanated from it. There was even a low roar that made people's hair stand on end. The great saint's expressions changed. Damn it, what kind of secret was inside? They didn't know. Boom, boom, boom. Suddenly, the surroundings darkened, and they couldn't see their own fingers. There was a terrifying aura. It surged towards them. With a whoosh, everyone's blood boiled. Not good. Someone was attacking. Who was it? The void bloomed with radiance, and the extreme weapons swept across. The entire Mount Eternal had been completely plunged into darkness. Everyone could only vaguely see black shadows attacking them. And there was more than one. They were attacking from all directions. Not good. Everyone was terrified. Gu Fei also frowned. They didn't have many resources left, and they couldn't control the void mirror for a long time. So, they used all their power to attack the ancient bronze coffin. Under the attack of the extreme weapons, the ancient bronze coffin shook violently. However, it didn't break. Moreover, Gu Fei couldn't attack anymore. The surrounding black shadows were very terrifying, and they were dangerous to them. He could only use the void mirror to defend. When Gu Feng saw this scene, he said, "Old ancestor, not good. There isn't much energy left." Gu Fei gritted his teeth and retreated. The others were unwilling, but what could they do? Not to mention the ancient bronze coffin. Even the black mist was extremely terrifying. If they stayed here and the energy was used up, they would definitely die. While the extreme weapons were still powerful, they quickly retreated. These people drove the void mirror and quickly left, tearing the void apart. The people outside were stunned. Even with the extreme weapons, it didn't work. They could only protect themselves. After those people outside came out, they all heaved a sigh of relief. The black mist in front gradually disappeared, and Mount Eternal returned to its tranquility. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, no one would have believed it. The scene from before was like a dream. The great saint's expressions were extremely ugly. They all returned to the Gu family to discuss the price. A great saint from the Gu family said, "It seemed that the power of the extreme weapon could indeed block Mount Eternal. It's just that we seem to be using the wrong method." Su Lai also said, "Seniors, I have an idea." As he spoke, everyone turned to look at him. Although this was a young man, he was also a top genius. In the future, he wouldn't be weaker than them. Chapter 4676. Su Lai took a deep breath. Legend. The one buried in the ancient bronze temple might be an immortal, an existence that transcended everything. Isn't it disrespectful for us to attack directly? I think it might be an immortal punishing us. Then what can you do? Gu Feng frowned. Su Lai said, "It seems that we have to offer a sacrifice first to express our respect. We opened the ancient bronze coffin just to see the immortal's glory." "Yes, that's right." Another great sage nodded. "Go, prepare the best sacrifice for me." Gu Fei also stood up and said, hoping that everyone could provide strength again. They had already used up the last time. Those great sages had ugly expressions, but they still nodded. Okay, no problem. We'll prepare now. Everyone went back and mobilized all their strength to prepare. It was either to collect resources or to collect sacrifices. They were going to enter Mount Eternal again. In the darkness, Lin Xian opened his eyes. His soul felt like it was about to split apart. In the next moment, he felt a powerful force enveloping him. He was shocked. What was going on? What happened? Where was this place? There were many questions in his mind. He slowly calmed down and began to observe. His surroundings were pitch black. He couldn't tell where he was. Suddenly, he remembered that he was placed in the ancient bronze coffin by Black Mountain. He found a terrifying black jar, and then his soul. It was swallowed by the black jar. Now, he had already fallen. Was he in the underworld? No, he shouldn't have fallen yet. Lin Xian could feel that his soul was still there, and it was much stronger than before. This was simply unimaginable. Now, even a late-stage holy king couldn't compare to his soul. What was going on? It was definitely not so terrifying before. Could it be because of that black jar? Lin Xian remembered that after his soul was swallowed, it was crushed. Then, it healed and was crushed again. Perhaps this was the effect of countless tempering. Why did he wake up? Logically speaking, he had already fallen into a cycle. He carefully recalled that the ancient bronze coffin seemed to be shaking violently. Was someone opening the ancient bronze coffin? Forget it. He had to find a way to return to his body. His soul began to spread in all directions. The next moment, he felt that his surroundings were no longer so dark, and he could move. In fact, he even saw a body lying there. What's going on? Wasn't this his physique? He could see it. Did he come out? No, he was still inside the black jar. He saw it through the jar. Could it be that this jar had already been recognized and was under his control? Thinking of this, Lin Xian was overjoyed. This black jar was incomparably mysterious. Perhaps this was the opportunity that Black Mountain was talking about. He had also paid a huge price to obtain it. However, it was not easy for him to leave the black jar. He felt that his current strength was not enough. It seemed that he had to think of another way. Lin Xian wasn't in a hurry. Now that his soul had been greatly improved, he was very happy. In his opinion, there would always be a way. It was better to wait patiently for now. In fact, it was the attack of the extreme weapon that had awakened Lin Xian from his slumber. Those from the Gu family, Longevity Hall, and Fire God Palace gathered again. It could be said that they had gone crazy in order to find offerings and resources. Finally, they found them as quickly as possible and were ready to strike again. At this moment, countless powerhouses and great saints had gathered outside Mount Eternal. Those people were similar to before, but this time, they were more prepared. They had to go in. Gu Fei took a deep breath, and the other great saints nodded solemnly. The void mirror rose into the air and forcefully broke through the void, flying forward. Not long after, the crowd arrived in front of the ancient bronze coffin. This time, with their previous experience, they did not act rashly. Instead, they were careful. Gu Fei stood in the void and said coldly as he took out the offerings. The people around him took out their storage rings and took out many things from them. There was an ancient altar, a jade table, a stone bench, and many other offerings. These were all extremely precious treasures of heaven and earth. They were spiritual springs condensed from the 9 heavens. On Mount Tempest, there were spiritual herbs that were tens of thousands of years old and all kinds of rare treasures. At this moment, they were all taken out. In their opinion, these things would not disappear, so they took out the best. It showed their sincerity. Perhaps then, Immortal would not attack them. In the ancient bronze coffin, Lin Xian opened his eyes again. What a terrifying power! He felt a strong sense of danger. They had already entered the ancient bronze coffin. What was it? This time, he used the black jar to reach out his soul and look outside. Finally, he saw clearly. There were so many people, and there was more than one great saint. What was going on? Were they from the Z Mansion and the clan of the Ancients? His expression was ugly. Damn it, the great saints of these clans had returned and wanted to attack him by force? If that was the case, then he was in danger. He wondered how Black Mountain was doing. But soon, he realized that it was not the case. They were not from the Z Mansion, the Phone Clan, or the Golden Crow Clan, but some other people. These people were also extremely terrifying. Who were they? He looked carefully. Then, he was extremely shocked. He saw a familiar figure in the crowd behind him. Gu Feng. The other party was also here. Then, the people in front of him should be from the Gu clan. Those who were with the Jia clan were either from the Great Sects or the clan of the Ancients. What were these people here for? This was especially true of the mirror above them, which caused him to feel apprehensive. It definitely surpassed all the weapons. Could it be the Gu clan's extreme weapon? Lin Xian was stunned. Could it be that these people wanted to use extreme weapons to attack him? His face was about to turn green, but soon, he was stunned because he found that the people outside had placed offerings. Then, they respectfully began to worship the bronze coffin. An old man clad in battle armor walked out and spoke in a clear voice. A supreme existence that was in deep slumber. Please forgive us for being rude. We don't want to disturb you, but we really want to take a look. Please forgive our recklessness, Supreme Immortal. After saying that, they began to kowtow 3 times and kowtow 9 times. Heavens, what was going on? These people were kowtowing to him? Lin Xian was surprised. Soon, he understood. These people must have thought that there was a group of immortals buried in the ancient bronze coffin. That was why they were so respectful. He was also shocked. What was buried in the ancient bronze coffin in the past? One had to know that those people outside were not fools. They were the most terrifying group of people. These people must know some ancient secrets, which was why they were so respectful. It seemed that the ancient coffin was indeed not simple. The heavenly court also had endless secrets. Chapter 4677. However, that was not what he needed to focus on now. What he needed to focus on was the offerings in front of him. Those were all top-notch heavenly treasures. The old herbs among them were not inferior to the ones he had risked his life to snatch. Lin Xian felt that he had to think of a way to get those things. First of all, it would be a waste not to take what these people offered. He needed these powers very much now, but how to get them was still a problem. At this moment, the black jar shook. Lin Xian was surprised. What was the use of this thing? Now that he had gained the recognition of the black jar, he could use it. His soul power quickly spread out, and the black jar emitted a black light. The next moment, a vortex appeared. Outside the ancient bronze coffin, some of the great sages kowtowed 3 times and 9 times, extremely respectful. But at this moment, a vortex suddenly appeared in front of them, sucking in the offerings they had placed. All of them were swallowed. What was going on? These great sages raised their heads in shock. Someone shouted angrily, "Do you want to die? Who dares to steal our things?" "Shut up." The Grand Elder of the Immortal Hall snorted coldly. "Can't you see that that thing has entered the ancient bronze coffin in front of us? That's because the immortals are using our offerings. We have been recognized by the immortals." After saying that, he knelt on the ground even more respectfully. The others were also shocked, and they all looked around. As expected, the vortex swallowed the offerings and floated into the ancient bronze coffin. Everyone gasped. The eyelids of the great sages of the Gu family twitched. Could it be that there was really an immortal buried inside? Thinking of this, they also prostrated on the ground and shouted respectfully, "Immortals above, please protect us." Inside the ancient coffin, many heavenly treasures appeared in front of Lin Xian. Each of them was a heaven-defying existence. Any one of them would make a great sage jealous. Lin Xian was stunned. This was the credit of the black jar. It was too unbelievable. This thing seemed to be able to devour everything. Very well, he began to use it. He brought the spiritual spring formed by the stars of the 9 heavens into the jar. His soul began to return with the power of the spirit spring. When his soul left the black jar and entered his body, Lin Xian couldn't help but want to roar. "I'm finally back." It hasn't been easy. He had also used up all of the spiritual spring water. Lin Xian didn't mind. With a wave of his hand, he collected all the treasures. He consumed it himself and gave it to the great dragon sword spirit. If these things were taken out and discovered by those great sages, they would definitely want them back. It was better to consume it first. These things were all unique treasures of heaven and earth. Lin Xian's physique and great dragon sword spirit consumed a lot of energy. Golden Crow Hao, Wind Phoenix, and the others had broken through, but Leaf Doudinier and Light hadn't. It could be seen. The ancient barren body was indeed terrifying. Lin Xian's divine body was no weaker than a sacred body, and with the addition of the great dragon sword soul, he needed even more power. After swallowing these treasures, Lin Xian felt the power in his body surging. He felt as if he was about to break through. He might even break through to the middle stage of the Holy King realm. Lin Xian suppressed his breakthrough. He knew that he was still shrouded by the heavenly punishment. If one were to break through in an ordinary place, they would be attacked by the heavenly punishment. He had to find a place with a great emperor. Let's think about how to leave the ancient coffin first. Lin Xian opened the sky with his palms. He hit the ancient coffin. He found that with his strength, it was difficult to open it. At this moment, the black jar flew over and floated. Lin Xian thought that it should be possible to use this thing. He poured his power into the jar. The black jar emitted a black light and created a black vortex. The ancient bronze coffin shook and opened. Outside, those people knelt respectfully. After waiting for a while, they found that nothing happened. They were all stunned. Was there an immortal inside? Just as they were wondering, the ancient bronze coffin in front of them let out a loud bang. Everyone looked up and found that the ancient bronze coffin slowly opened. A figure sat up. There was really someone. These people became excited again and looked carefully. So young. Was this an immortal? They saw a young man sitting up. Then, he stood up from inside. They looked around curiously. Greetings to the exalted immortal. These people began to kneel. Lin Xian looked around and felt a terrifying aura. He was shocked. What was this place? Why did it have such a terrifying aura? When he saw that the great sages in front of him were kneeling to him, his eyelids twitched. Did these guys think that he was an immortal? This was good too. He didn't have to explain. If the other party knew that he was just an ordinary lesser sacred king, he would probably be captured. She would immediately conduct research. When that time came, her secret would be exposed. Are you living beings from the lower realm? Lin Xian asked indifferently. A hint of cold arrogance appeared in his eyes, as if he didn't put the common people in his eyes. Living beings from the lower realm? The great sages were shocked. Was he talking about them? Perhaps in the eyes of the exalted immortal, they, the great sages, were similar to ants. They hurriedly said, "That's right. We are the native living beings of this world. Exalted immortal has descended. We came to pay our respects just to see your immortal appearance." "Raise your heads," Lin Xian said indifferently. "Thank you, exalted immortal." The great sages below were so excited that they were like children. They all raised their heads and carefully visualized. Gu Feng also raised his head, wanting to see what the legendary immortal looked like. But in the next moment, his eyes almost fell out. Damn, how could it be him? He jumped to his feet. What was going on? The others frowned as they looked at each other. Gu Feng was too bold, wasn't he? How dare he be disrespectful to an exalted immortal? The great sages of the Gu family also frowned. Feng couldn't be rude and quickly knelt down. Gu Feng almost spat out a mouthful of blood. Kneeling to the other party? What a joke. But the current situation was that those great sages were all kneeling, and he had also knelt to the other party before. This made him go crazy with anger. He said, "Ancestor, he's not an exalted immortal at all. His name is Lin Xian. He's just an ordinary genius." What? The people of the Gu family were stunned. The other great sages were also in an uproar. Gu Feng knew this person? Gu Feng said, "That's right. He's Lin Xian from the buried emperor planet. He's not an immortal at all." The great sages' faces instantly darkened. Did they just kneel to a young junior? What a joke. The great sages of the Gu family had cold killing intent in their eyes. They had to tear the other party into pieces. How dare he lie to them? Lin Xian also frowned. This Gu Feng was really a bad person. He sneered and said indifferently, "It seems that you ants from the lower realm, you're really tired of living." He looked at Gu Feng and said coldly, "You said that I'm an ordinary person? Are you sure that an ordinary person can come out of here?" Gu Feng snorted coldly. "Kid, don't pretend to be mysterious. If you're really an immortal, then take out your immortal technique." The others also looked up. Yes, immortals should be far stronger than them. But why? Why couldn't the other party sense a strong aura? Chapter 4678. I came to the lower realm and suffered some injuries. I haven't recovered yet. Are you doubting me? If you're not convinced, come forward and fight. The faces of the surrounding great sages flickered. Although they were shocked by the level of Yang Qi's cultivation base and power, they were still shocked. They had their doubts, but they couldn't go forward. They could stand here now because of the void mirror. If they left the void mirror, they would definitely die. And even with the void mirror, they couldn't walk to the ancient bronze coffin, because they had tried before, but there was a powerful force blocking them. But the other party could stand there now. This meant that the other party definitely had a strange energy that surpassed them. The Grand Elder of the Hall of Immortals said, "This was an immortal, but he was injured previously. Besides, immortals came from the immortal world, and there were also young people in the immortal world. You don't know anything, so don't talk nonsense. If you angered an immortal, be careful of his power." That's right. The Elder of the Fire God Palace also nodded and paid his respects to the immortal. "Immortal, please give me the way to live forever." The other great sages also knelt down. Seeing that some people really knelt down, Lin Xian was shocked. These people were really greedy. They wanted to prolong their lives. And there was one more thing. He knew that it was because his appearance was too strange. Who would have thought that he could walk out of such a mysterious ancient bronze coffin? So it wasn't impossible to scare these great sages. Gu Feng still didn't believe it. He gritted his teeth and said, "If you're an immortal, you should walk out. Walk around Mount Eternal, and I'll believe you." The great sages of the Gu family also had a piercing light in their eyes. They wanted to see this immortal. Did he really have the strength? "Immortal, please use your immortal technique and let us see," the Grand Elder of the Hall of Immortals said excitedly. The others also turned their gazes over. Lin Xian frowned. Was Mount Eternal very magical? He had never heard of it. "Okay, then I'll let you see." With that, he took a step forward, left the ancient bronze coffin, and walked forward. Everyone's hearts became nervous. Even Gu Feng clenched his fists. "Kid, keep pretending. Even great sages don't dare to enter Mount Eternal. Without the protection of the void mirror, if he went out, he would definitely die." Although Lin Xian didn't know what kind of place Mount Eternal was, he could sense the terrifying aura here. He could sense it. Therefore, he did not dare to be careless. When he came out, he brought the black jar with him. He felt that this black jar was very magical. Perhaps it could have an unexpected effect. Sure enough, the black jar exuded a mysterious aura, as if it had swallowed the indestructible Tao around it. Lin Xian left the ancient bronze coffin and walked into the distance. The people behind him watched nervously. Gu Feng was still thinking that this kid would turn into a pile of bones in an instant. However, when he saw that Lin Xian had already walked far away, he was dumbfounded. How could this be? He roared in disbelief. Lin Xian walked back and laughed coldly. "What? You still dare to question me now?" He didn't dare to do it again. The great saints shook their heads. Lin Xian looked at Gu Feng. Ancient Wind roared. "Damn it, you are." Before he could finish, he was pressed to the ground by a palm. It was Gu Fei's hand. Gu Fei said coldly, "Feng, do you still want to be presumptuous? You're getting more and more unruly." "Ancestor." Gu Feng struggled. Gu Feng said coldly, "Why aren't you kowtowing and apologizing to the exalted immortal?" "Damn it." Gu Feng gritted his teeth, unwilling to accept this. Lin Xian laughed coldly. "Kowtow and apologize? That's not enough. A hint of killing intent appeared in his eyes. The great saint of the Gu family felt his scalp go numb, and he hurriedly begged for mercy. Exalted immortal, please spare my life. Seeing that he's a young junior and doesn't know any better, please spare my life. Please spare my life. The Gu family is willing to offer another sacrifice. Please spare my life. Exalted immortal. All right, I'll take out a few stalks of immortal herbs. Hearing this, the great saint's expression turned ugly. They did not have such things. They said, we don't have immortal herbs, but we can take out 3 stalks of herbs that are tens of thousands of years old. We can compensate them. Lin Xian said, that's not enough. He questioned me before? Just slap him. Lin Xian knew that it was impossible for the Gu family to kill Gu Feng. He would think of a way to torture him. Gu Fei stood up and said, I understand. He walked in front of Gu Feng and sent him flying with a slap. You're courting death. Do you think you can challenge an exalted immortal? Gu Feng's face instantly swelled like a pig's head, and all his teeth were broken. Roar. Gu Feng even felt like dying. He roared, and Gu Feng slapped him again. Gu Feng did not dare to say anything else. He lowered his head and begged for mercy. Exalted immortal, are you satisfied? After a few slaps, Gu Fei turned around and asked respectfully. Lin Xian nodded. Suddenly, a golden light appeared in his eyes. He was surprised. He had the aura of a demonic beast on him, and it was a void beast. Am I right? Gu Feng was shocked. Did he see through me in an instant? He did have a void beast on him. He had obtained it from somewhere else. It's not bad. Give it to me. Lin Xian said indifferently. Gu Feng gritted his teeth. He had no choice but to take it out under the watchful eyes of the great saints. After the void beast came out, it kept roaring. Obviously, it recognized Lin Xian. The corners of Lin Xian's mouth curled up. You dare to fight against me? Gu Fei went up, slapped the void beast unconscious, and handed it over respectfully. Lin Xian took it, threw it into the demonic beast pouch, and instantly sealed it. He had seen this void beast before. He had even cut off its tail. It was made into a void beast skin. He did not expect it to fall into Gu Feng's hands in the end. Now, it was in his hands again. Oh right, where's this place? Lin Xian asked. The Grand Elder of the Hall of Immortals said, this is Mount Eternal. They quickly explained the origin of Mount Eternal. Lin Xian was also surprised after hearing this. It turned out to be a land of death. It seemed that it was at least at the Great Emperor level. Perhaps he could break through here. He said, wait for me outside. Yes. No one dared to resist. They could only retreat and go outside Mount Eternal. The people outside were also stunned. Did an immortal really appear? It was unbelievable. Those great saints warned the young disciples that they must be respectful and must not challenge the other party. After Gu Feng came out, he directly flew away. He did not want to stay here any longer. Otherwise, who knew how that guy would torture him? After those people left, Lin Xian walked into Mount Eternal again. He began to transcend the tribulation. He no longer suppressed his power. Soon, lightning condensed in the sky. At the same time, terrifying red lightning filled the air outside Mount Eternal. When the great saints outside saw this, they were shocked. Heavenly punishment? Could it really be an immortal? Perhaps his bloodline has surpassed this world. The heavenly Tao will not tolerate it. Everyone was worried, but not long after, they did not notice that the heavenly punishment had disappeared. Only ordinary lightning descended. This made everyone even more shocked. The Grand Elder of the Hall of Immortals said, as expected of an immortal, he has tricks up his sleeve. He can even hide the heavenly punishment. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.